Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Game Station podcast. Is it working? I think it might be. It seems like it could be. Good God. This has been a fun day. This has been such a fun day so far. Jeez, I am actually kind of surprised we even made it on the air to begin with. Though,
no.
Yeah.
We would have found a way.
Yeah,
Google Hangouts, man.
Google Hangouts.
God.
It's like a terrible thing. I am just shocked by the number of so-called professional broadcasters that say, oh, tune into our professional live show. We're using Google Hangouts, which is essentially a bunch of fucking webcams and a really terrible interface and awful sound quality across the board. But that's super professional. Like, no, it isn't. It's crap.
It always makes me laugh when the program gets stuck on one person, because, like, it's supposed to switch depending on who's talking, right? And sometimes it just, like, stays on somebody while they're not talking at all. And I'm like, Google,
I hate that.
What are you doing?
I don't even like the whole notion of just changing the camera to who's speaking, because I think in a lot of shows it's really important to show the reactions of other people. And you really lose a massive aspect of that if you keep switching cameras like a spaz. I don't know what's going on with that. So, I don't know. I don't like Google Hangouts. I'm not going to use it because it sucks. So, I will use this. Currently, we are using Open Broadcaster version 0.47 alpha. That's going to work well, isn't it? Yeah. I woke up this morning and I felt dangerous, right? So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use an open source alpha broadcast program because danger is my middle name.
Are you pouring a beer into a mug?
I saw that. Yes.
You can just drink the beer. We don't actually have any rules against that.
Worry.
That's totally fine.
It's just a blue moon, so he's still
it needs to breathe for the flavor, right?
Right.
That's not a mug. That's a stein.
Yeah, I'm a bad motherfucker.
And then you take a whole orange and put that in there, right? That's how you work.
Unpeeled.
Right? Yes.
I'm not gonna say that I feel like I'm staring at the alternate dimension version of myself, but you have the chair in the background, you have the shelf. I'm just letting you know somewhere.
Oh, this is weird. I didn't even notice it.
The classier version of me. You are like what I dream I wish I could be.
We're some handsome motherfuckers.
Right. I've always said that. So I look in the mirror and say, damn, you are a handsome motherfucker.
So if Daniel is the classier version of you, then right now I'm
the bad twin. I'm the bad twin.
Okay, so you have Bud Light in your mug, is what I'm hearing. Or Pabst?
Pabst Blue
Pabst
Ribbon.
Blue Ribbon.
Please, Bud Light. I'm drinking old style, some Black Thunder or whatever. Malt liquor.
Mississippi Mud.
Malt liquor. Yeah.
I'm drinking coffee.
Go figure.
Surprise. I know. Everyone's shocked. Oh, I also need to close these blinds, apparently. BRB.
So why is American beer like making love in a canoe, Jesse?
Because when you're done drinking it, you say to yourself, wow, I made love in a canoe. That never happened before.
What?
All right, so the answer as to why American beer is very much like making love in a canoe is they're both fucking close to water, right?
That's true. That's fact. That's legit fact, though.
You get it?
Get it.
Still gets
you get it?
drunk.
It's good.
I'm not gonna complain. There's actually, when I used to live in New York, there was a restaurant near me that had a beer of the month club, and so every month we'd go to this like party, and all the beers were like 7.9% alcohol and above. Spoiler: most American beers are like 6. So for us Americans, we were like, what? Oh my god!
I say, do you say most American beers are like 6? No, they're not. They're more like 2. Like a lot of the guys, people drink Bud Light, which I can never really understand. Beer tastes like shit, right? So what's the point in drinking it unless you intend to get drunk in the first place? You don't get drunk on Bud Light. Jesus, you'd have to drink about 50 bottles of that stuff.
Wait, are you saying you hate all beer?
I have not found a beer that I've liked the taste of. I don't know, man. And I've tried a lot of proper beers, proper ales, proper European beers. I'll happily try pretty much any beer, any ale, no problem at all. Do I like any of them? No. I hate them. It doesn't taste good to me.
At least you're willing to try them.
Yeah, of
At
least.
least.
I mean, why
Maybe
not?
you're a
Eventually, I
smart
might
man.
run into one that I like, and then I'll probably drink it. But as it stands, cider is the thing for me. I much prefer cider.
What about mead?
Mead is great. Proper mead.
What
Yeah.
is mead? Wait,
Mead.
what's
Alright,
mead?
Okay, mead is essentially an alcoholic drink that is fermented from honey.
Honey.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It is a very much a medieval drink. It
Sounds
is
awesome.
very, very strong.
I'm gonna have it when I go to England.
Let's
I
just
was
say.
gonna say, can
alright,
we drink mead in England?
So let's just say the minimum mead alcohol level is about 8%. Maximum is about 18. So I can tell you a story of mead. Would you like to learn about mead?
18.
Yeah, 18. Yeah,
The
pretty.
story
Yes, tell
of
us a mead
mead.
story.
All right, so
Great.
here's a story of mead. So I was in Sweden, as I am every now and again, and I went to Sweden to go to the. It was basically a university gathering of sorts of prospective game developers and people in training and things like that. And we did all sorts of industry-related stuff and a lot of talks and discussions. And after the event, it's like, let's go out drinking in Stockholm. So we thought, right, where can we go? And it's like, oh, we know just the place. So we travel through Stockholm, and we approach this door. This door is made of oak, and there is a man there, and all you see is a dark set of stairs that lead down into a basement. So, so we go down into the basement, and what do we find? A legitimate Viking drinking hall beneath the ground. Everyone is sitting at big wood tables on benches. There are furs on the walls. There are Viking shields, axes, and swords all over
That
the
sounds
place.
really
This
dangerous.
place is super legit, right?
No, those are the best places.
And they said, this is the best place to get mead. It looks like some people in the chat might know what this is. So
Oh,
I think
the
they've
name of
been
the
there
place?
before. Yeah, so I think it's pretty obvious what it is. I'm pretty sure there's only like one place in Stockholm that's like this. Anyway, so he said, this is the best place to get mead. And we go and get mead, and someone gets a big thing of mead and puts it down on the table. And I drink, it's like, guys, this isn't mead. It's like, oh, this is mead beer. I'm like, no, guys, have you been drinking this all the time, believing this is mead? And it's like, yes. Why is it not mead? Like, well, okay, let me go to the bar and see if they have any real mead. So
I like your Swedish.
my Swedish is,
Why is this not mead?
this is mead.
Why is this not mead?
Spanky Panky, this is mead. And so I go to the bar and I say to them, I'd like some mead, please. Like, do you have any real mead? And it's like, you mean real mead, not mead beer, real mead. Like, yes, real mead. Like, aha, I know just the thing. So he comes back, and big steins of obviously real, legit mead. Take that back to the table. It's like, guys, we're going to drink this. And, like, after about 20 minutes, they're just rolling on the floor. It's like, so what's the alcohol content of this? About 17%. They're just drinking pints of this thing. The coolest thing about mead, by the way, is that you should drink it warm. Like, it's designed to be drunk heated. And it's really good at winter.
Gross.
Really great in winter. Like, it kicks the ass
Sounds
of brandy. So I would strongly recommend it. Mead is delicious. Mead is very strong. Mead is pretty fantastic.
Awesome.
There you go.
We got to
The
do
more
it.
you know about mead.
Indeed. The more you know. Well, welcome to the Game Station podcast. We occasionally talk about video games. Sometimes we talk about mead. It's mostly mead, I think. I don't know. I've been having a really bad day. Those who don't know, XSplit just completely screwed up today. I've spent the last 3 hours essentially diagnosing problems with Time Warner Cable and then figuring out how to use Open Broadcaster. We managed to jury rig something that seems to work. It means we can't play videos. We can't do trailers. We can't do TGS stuff because OBS is very much still in development. It doesn't do that yet. But the stream is working, and that's kind of the main thing, right? So I'm fairly happy with that.
Looks good too. Stream looks great.
It's all right. Yeah, it looks okay.
That's
It
I was
wasn't
just about to pull it up.
Yeah, it wasn't about 2 minutes ago until someone helpfully said, oh, did you remember to disable Windows Aero because OBS doesn't do that automatically like XSplit does? Like, oh, yeah, that's probably what's lagging it to hell. Windows Aero is the horrible thing. So since I was rushing, I randomly picked a theme on Windows. Turns out I picked the one that looks like Windows 95, and it is the most hideous, horrible thing I've ever
Yes.
seen. It's
So hot.
dreadful. Oh, my God, it's just horrible. So we did kind of bodge this together. But since I've just wasted the first 15 minutes of the show, let me introduce people to you. We'll start with our special guest. He is Dan, a.k.a. ZeitgeistReview, a.k.a. that bastard with the green screen, which I like to call him. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I've been known as that bastard with the green screen for many, many years now.
Indeed.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It should be fun, I hope.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry you had to come on
Don't
the
get your
one
hopes
show
up.
where we're quite literally
Right.
building it out of pieces of string and used parts from old 70s Ford cars. You know, it's tricky, but it seems to be
It's kind of like
working
my
okay.
live stream. It's a piece of shit.
Yep. that's pretty much most live streams, right? So we're going to try and live stream today. It might work for a while, and then who knows what will happen. It's mysterious. Jesus. But yeah, I'm actually on the line with all of the XSplit tech support guys, and the devs are trying to fix the problem. So hopefully we'll be back sort of using that program next week, because it does have some advantages over OBS. But Dodger, welcome to the show. What's been going on?
Hello. What has been going on? I started a science project. Do you guys want to see it?
It's not the cat, is it?
No.
No, it's celery.
The cat's asleep on my bed. It's celery. Look at how much it's grown. Does that now blow your mind? Science.
Did you not get to do this when you were like 5 or 6?
I know.
No. I grew up on a huge farm. We just grew stuff out of the ground. We didn't like regrow stuff in water.
I grew up on a farm, so the thing I'm going to do to experiment
grow
is
things?
grow more shit.
In water.
I am. Oh man, my mind is blown by that.
I'm
It's
so happy.
It's hydroponics, man. Oh
Smells
my
amazing.
God.
Smells
what
super
is it?
silky-ish.
Sweets, man.
Okay, so you buy celery from the store, and then you chop all of the stalks off, and you use those in your cooking. But then you take the bud of it, like the bulb part, and put it in water, and then the middle part that hasn't had time to actually turn into celery yet. At the time when you buy it, it's like yellow. It will get really, really green, and the outside will die, and then you can plant it, and then you'll just have celery growing. So I was like, I should try that, and it's working.
You could go back to that store for another 99 cents and buy a whole other thing of celery. Just let me
This
know.
is so much more fun. You and I are very different.
Our definitions of fun are very
We are
different.
I was gonna say,
very
the first thing
different
we
people.
did it in, I think it was in, well, it was called junior school or primary school for us, is we grew cress. There, we grew a lot of cress.
Like watercress?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
pretty much what we did. That was our kind of science project, and it was the least interesting thing.
Here's
Oh
the
my
difference.
gosh,
In American schools, we grew rock candy. That like crystallized
That
sugar.
sounds
That's
American
what
to
we
me. It's like you might as well grow something incredibly unhealthy,
If we're
right?
gonna grow
We
something,
grew
grow rock
radishes, if that
candy.
helps. My school is different from Jesse's school. But
Your
my school was
school-
also really big into FFA. So we were
Free
all...
for all? What?
Hey, free for all?
Huh?
You guys
Farmers.
fight to the death? Were you the
Future
only one who
farmers.
lived?
Future farmers of America, guys. Come on.
Oh. So their
I'm in
their
Iowa. I know what you're
expectations
talking about.
of you-
Future
Yeah, thank
farmers
you,
of
Daniel.
American. Wow, that's the most thrilling thing I've ever heard in my life.
Me and all the
Lord.
kids in my hometown are raised to either become a farmer or marry a farmer, right?
Their
So
expectations were very high.
they
like-
they want us to know how to do some things in the backyard.
Yep. Just to answer the Swedes, by the way, I don't know if I can pronounce this word, but I mean, I don't know. This is silly. This is like got one of those umlaut things on it. Skadi Tunen, Birked, bot.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes, but that I'm pretty sure that was where we went. Yes, and I believe we drank there, and it was kind of great.
Oh, the place you had the fake mead and then the real mead.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
of
I
course.
recognize that door. That is the door. So, yeah, it looks... I don't know what that is. But, yes, you should go there because it was great. And ask for the real mead. It was bloody wonderful. It's not Scarvy Griller. That's not the same thing. Ah, man. Jesse, welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody.
You've not been drinking mead and you haven't been suffering from OBS problems, right? It's all been good?
I have not. No.
I'm losing my mind
Although
today.
big shout out to the dungeon bar I went to in Poland that had the picture of the Nord chicks riding dragons, naked Vikings on dragons. That might have been the best thing I've ever. It was in the men's bathroom. When you're peeing, you're staring at the most glorious image ever.
Yep.
But this week, I received another. If you remember the legendary story of the katana I received, and I was like,
Yeah,
Who
I
is
saw
this
that
for?
when I was over there, and I'm like, why do you have
Yes.
this sword? And I was like, oh, someone's just randomly sent me this. I think it went to the wrong place.
Yeah, so it said it was this guy named Mark Chen, and I thought it was to Mark Chen. Spoiler, it was from Mark Chen, and he did want me to have it. How do I know this? Because I received another package from said Mr. Chen, who is totally awesome, by the way. And he's like, look, I can't export, but you need to give this to TB. And I have another one for you.
Oh my god.
And so next time you're over here, I can
That
give you
looks
this.
very... can you show... I'm not going to ask you to show me the Suba on it because you have no idea what that is. Can you sort of show me the hilt, sort of angle it so that I can...
Like that?
That, move your hand.
What?
No, there. Yeah, that looks nice.
So, and it's definitely this one, unlike the other one I received, which I had questions on, like, I was like, I can't tell if it's handcrafted or whatever, and I asked people. This one, now that I know, like I looked up information, is definitely handcrafted. Dude took his time with this. Because you can see the imperfections and stuff. So this is your new baby, TB, and next time you're over here.
I used to collect swords a long time ago, actually.
Are you guys gonna film a sword fight?
No, those things can actually kill you.
Swords and we'll kill each other.
Please.
So I used
all
to.
I want.
So my pride and joy, which is back in the UK, sitting in the garage because obviously I can't really take it around with me, was a Paul Chen practical Aito katana, and these things were designed so that they were designed for quick draw. Like there's an entire art form around basically drawing your sword in the quickest, smoothest motion possible in order to end a fight in a single stroke, and that's an entire martial art. The
Like
thing
an
is.
anime.
Yes, like anime. They make the swords so that you don't cut off your own arms when you draw it too fast. They basically that you don't have a sharp edge with them because otherwise you would kill yourself. You're not supposed to actually do this to people, right? It's no longer become relevant. This is not a relevant martial art. You do it because it's fun and it's skillful and it's a hobby. You don't actually kill people with it.
You fight demons.
You're an anime character.
Unless
And
Jesus
you're
Christ,
running
guys.
through the woods.
This
towards
isn't a
somebody,
real
and they're
thing.
running in the woods toward you.
Oh,
and
it's
then
real.
you cross each other, but it's in a
There are no
silhouette.
actual
and then one
animes.
person falls.
All the
No,
animes are
no.
not real.
They both land and look forward like, yes, I killed him. And then one of them realizes, oh shit, it was me. And then he
And then
dies.
their body halves like slide apart.
goes,
Yes.
God damn
And then
it.
they go like that. Yeah, that's how it works.
Mhm.
I mean,
TB did that all the time in the UK. Is the new
yeah.
headcanon.
that's how he became the headmaster of Hogwarts. He took out Dumbledore with a quick slash.
With a quick slide,
Yeah.
with a single strike.
God damn it.
He was like, Voldemort, bitch.
You know, I just wish that I hadn't learned OBS. You know, I wish I hadn't learned that so that we couldn't have gone on air today, so you bastards couldn't ruin my show again.
It would have just happened next week, TB.
At least I could have delayed the inevitable, right? That's cool.
1 week,
I would have had
he's
time
going
for a
to tell us
shave.
that we can't do the podcast, something went wrong, and then one of us will tune in, and it'll turn out he got totally different people.
10 minutes ago, I wasn't even
The
wearing
podcast is
trousers.
happening, but
Like,
we're
this
just
is how
not
little
there.
time I had. I wasn't even wearing trousers. I snuck them on during the show. I haven't had a shower. I haven't had a chance to shave. Jesus. I hate every one of you, by the way.
That's why we're creating an
Classless.
epic
Aw.
backstory for you, because we love and appreciate you.
Dan
TB.
just got. I don't know where he is in relation to me, but Dan just got here, and you're like, I hate you. All he's doing
you,
is drinking.
Dan.
He isn't doing
Yeah,
anything.
What's
built
wrong
up
with you,
tension.
Dan? Why do you have to do
There's
this?
a lot of tension in this family right now.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Ah.
Yeah, I wish I had my latest airsoft has not arrived yet. It's going to arrive tomorrow, which is so sad. So I was like, I can't show that off, but it leads quite nicely into the first topic I would like to discuss, which comes into the whole what have you been playing this week, and I'm hoping that at least one of you has at least tried this bloody thing. So what have we been playing this week? Has anyone tried Aliens Colonial Marines yet?
Nope. I heard
No,
it
because
sucked,
I
and it
keep
was like,
hearing all this shit about it, and I'm like, I'm gonna.
Dan,
just-
help me out here, surely.
I did. I bought it. I downloaded it, and then the tweets started coming in.
Have you
Angry
even
Joe
tried
was
it yet?
talking mad shit. Nope,
Have you-
haven't tried it.
God fucking damn it. I was
I don't-
hoping you
Just
had
let
because
the anger flow. Just speak all your thoughts.
Simon from the Yogscast, for like a good 25 minutes was posting every single review that was being released, and he was like, he's like, people must love this game because apparently today everyone's releasing reviews. It's like they were so busy that he waited until today to release the review.
Yes, of course. You know, there wasn't an embargo on the bloody thing up until the launch day because they knew it was a stinker. I have played about 25 minutes of it so far. I was hoping one of you had played more of it so we could have a bigger discussion, but everything that I've seen of it so far is Like, even the intro stinks of painfully average, which means, like, it can really only go downhill from there. Because, you know, most games try and at least impress you within the first 25 minutes with something kind of cool. Yeah. This game does not attempt to do anything. The voice acting and the writing in this game is the most dreadful thing I've heard. It is beyond horrible. It's just, some of it doesn't even make any sense.
Worse than JRPGs?
Oh, it's really
come
bad.
on, JRPGs aren't that bad.
I don't know what the hell they were doing with the voice acting, but it's really bad. The gunplay is the weakest fucking gunplay I have ever felt. Like, I got a pulse rifle, yeah? One of the most iconic weapons in movie history, yeah? With that great sound and with that amazing look to it. And what happens? They make it sound like a bloody toy gun, and they make it handle like one, too. This thing has no recoil whatsoever. It is literally Call of Duty spray and pray. You could put a fucking red dot on it, like Call of Duty style. You can maul this classic weapon. You know, one of the best-looking guns anyone has ever crafted for anything
Flames
ever.
On the side, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can put flames on the side. Oh, yeah, you can put flame camo on it, and a fucking laser sight, and a fucking red dot on the top, this giant, bloody, ugly, square thing. It's like, god damn it, guys. Like, there should be a law against mutilating the fucking pulse rifle that way. There's a reason why the airsoft pulse rifle I'm getting is an official replica with no fucking rails on it, so you can't attach a red dot, because they know that it's a sin against God to do that. And they let you do it anyway. The shotgun is the weakest piece of shit I've ever seen in a game and takes forever to reload. I don't know what the hell they were doing there. The AI of both the aliens and your friends are beyond stupid. So you're running around with other Marines, right? And you get battle chatter and things, and they're supposed to kind of inform you about what's going on. They have some very odd ideas about what's going on. It's like, they're coming in from the left to flank, and it's like there's one alien, and it's directly ahead of us, and it's not flanking at all, and he's in a corner. So there's no chance of this. I'm deadly serious. This happened in the first 25 minutes. They're coming in from the left to flank. Like, what? There can't be. You're in the corner. There's no possibility unless they can walk through walls now. And there's this constant stupid battle chat. I've seen some videos on YouTube whereby the AI is freaked out so much, it's like, there's too many of them. We're getting overwhelmed here. And there's like one alien.
Oh, no.
There was one where there was a completely empty room, and your AI partners were just emptying clip after clip into the wall.
Well, that's how I play every
game now.
Yeah.
I know. I need to play this game.
Yep.
So much.
Yeah, pretty much. Just like, and if they'd done that, it would be fun, right? If it looked like they were freaking out and losing their minds, what a great feature that would be. But no, they're standing there, staunch as everything, aiming directly at the wall and just emptying clip after clip after clip of ammunition into it. There's nothing on the motion tracker. There's no one anywhere near. It is beyond crazy. Apparently, aliens teleport in. They teleport in for no apparent reason. Like, there's no point in using the motion tracker because apparently everything just monster boxes. It just appears in the room out of nowhere. So what's the point in even checking the motion tracker to check what's ahead of you, because there's nothing in the fucking room at all. There is a gigantic list of everything that's wrong with this on a lot of different sites. Jim Sterling, who you guys should know, he's a pretty famous games journalist. He writes for Destructoid. He's pretty good at what he does. He actually emailed me because he's like, do you want a list of everything that they lied about in the press demo? And I'm like, yes, I would. Would you like me to summarize this for you? Because, I mean, it's pretty long, so I don't want to give you all of it. Where the hell is this? I'm sorry, I think I'm misspelling Jim Sterling's name. There it is. Okay. So he sent me a gigantic list of everything that he noticed, and there's probably more of this, that was in the press demo. This is something that they showed to the press, and they also showed a video of to the public, right? This was freely available. You didn't get to play it, but you could see it. And he described that there's a bunch of stuff in this thing which is not in the game. As in, the press demo completely misrepresented the game. Which, in itself is kind of ridiculous. So, just a couple of little examples here. Just some of the less severe stuff. Marines walk through a lab with facehuggers. One Marine asks what they are. A facehugger twitches at the player. The lab is in the game, but there are no reactions whatsoever, and none of the facehuggers actually move whatsoever. So, basically, there's a lot of stuff within the game whereby they seem to know automatically what everyone is and everything is, despite having really no knowledge about the aliens whatsoever. Like, there's a bunch of new alien types, like the Lurker and the Boiler. The Boiler, by the way, is the dumbest name I've ever heard, but it basically makes his head explode and sprays acid everywhere. Yet the Marines, upon never actually encountering these before, spot them, immediately identify what they are, and said, "That's a lurker. You got to watch out for them." It's like, what? You've never met these. This is the first time you've ever encountered this bloody thing. You know how Left 4 Dead does it, where like if you start the campaign, when you first spot a special infected, they kind of speculate about it because they don't know what it is, and then as they gradually go through the campaign, the dialogue gets more informed. They don't do that here. They just make some really obvious stuff. So there's another example. Marines notice a door forced open and check it out. This is not in the final game at all. The Marines shown in this segment don't appear to be characters from the game at all. This was completely fabricated. This section does not occur.
So wait, did they just create a game, like a separate demo entirely?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what they did.
What's the point of that, though? I mean, did they remove it from the main game or just not include it at all? I don't understand.
It's just not in there.
I mean,
they made it up.
If you're going to make it look good for the press, why not put it in the game for the users?
Well, because it's like a cardboard set, right? It's like you can fool people that are looking directly at it, but if you look at it from the side, then it suddenly breaks. So you create something that's in a very carefully controlled environment, so you can show the press and show the public via a video presentation that you are driving, right? And then other people don't realize. A couple of other examples here. So we've got aliens demonstrate their sophisticated artificial intelligence. Apparently, aliens are not capable of any of the behavior shown in the demo. You'll see them crawl on the ceiling and hide themselves in vents and above ceiling panels, but they can't actually do this in the game. The Xenos in the actual product just run at you. They never try to hide like that. It's also worth noting that the alien corpses don't stay on the ground like the demo shows. They just disappear seconds after death within the game. Another example. The Xenomorph attacks the player and knocks them out of the comms room into the open LV-426. This never happens. This scene is not in the game. The Crusher is introduced and chases the player. Also, this never happens. In the actual game, you get a brief, underwhelming glimpse of the Crusher before later fighting it in a really boring boss battle. Nothing involving the Crusher in the demo footage actually happens anywhere in the game whatsoever. The entire finale of the demo in the loading bay is not in the game. No other NPC gets into a power loader, and the aliens certainly don't start crawling on it while he flames them off. The only scene with an active power loader is where the player gets into one to wildly smash at some generic big xenomorph. Naturally, with this scene never happening, there's no alien queen smashing through the wall either. The entire closing minutes of the demo are pure fabrication. And it goes on and on. There's way more of this. I could spend all day talking about it, but this game is a fucking disaster. Like, it is.
How old is this? How long has this game been in development? Because I remember
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah, I remember seeing, and I wish I could send you guys the link right now. But a few days ago, I saw a website that had the old version of the game and the new version of the game, like side by side. And besides updated graphics, there was no difference in like the actual gameplay.
It's seriously ugly. Like, it is a very, very ugly game. The texture quality is unbelievably bad. The game actually... I mean, the game looks definitely worse than AVP 2010, which actually was a pretty good-looking game. Remember, that was one of the first games to really use DirectX 11. It's a pretty fucking gorgeous game. You can criticize the gameplay all you like, and it's not, like, great. But this looks worse than that game from 3 years ago. Obviously, you know, it looks a little bit better than AVP from, AVP 2, which was, 2003 or something like that. But it is a really ugly-looking game. It doesn't stand up to any modern FPS. It doesn't stand up to any FPS from the past few years. And even then, apparently on console, it's got super massive frame rate and screen tearing problems, even though it's an ugly game.
That doesn't surprise me, though.
On PC,
there it is.
on PC, that doesn't happen.
I linked it to you. It's from Polygon. They have a side-by-side, like, big screenshots of what it used to look like in, and then what it looks like 2012 version versus 2013. And how they tried to make it grittier, and really, it doesn't look. It doesn't really look
exactly
that much better.
Same. It's just a little bit brighter.
Yeah,
it's.
So weird.
I mean, thus far from what I've played of it, it seems like it's really dreadful, and I haven't found anything that's really redeeming about it. I hate the stupid QTEs. Like every time an alien gets close, it sort of jumps on you, and you have to hammer the E button to push it off. Yeah, every time without fail. Which is super boring because there's only one animation for it. And in the starting section, it did this to me 3 separate times, and it immediately switches you over to your pistol while you're on the ground so you can shoot at the alien. You don't have a pistol. Like, you start the game with 2 guns, which is the pulse rifle and the shotgun. Where the fucking pistol came from, I have no idea. It magically appears out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. It's just... it's so bad. There's so much scripted stuff. It's got the standard, really bad modern FPS problem of you can't open doors, other people must do it for you while talking and walking very, very slowly, right? That artificial way of extending gameplay, which is horrible, and just this absolutely dreadful exposition technique that is used by people that have no idea how to make good narrative. And I haven't tried the multiplayer yet. Apparently the multiplayer is passable, if that, although it is a blatant Call of Duty clone. In co-op, the AI is apparently so bad that the whole wave-based co-op that people were really looking for is like a really bad version of Left 4 Dead. It sounds like it's actually as bad as Raccoon City, which would be a pretty bad. That would be pretty bad. Yeah. So, yeah, this is a mess. I mean, it's funny because we've been anticipating this for a while. We haven't had a good next-gen Aliens game at all, have we?
Ever? No.
No, no. There hasn't been a good Aliens game in a long while.
When was
I don't know if I've ever played a good Aliens game.
I mean, the question is, do you count the AVP series or not? Like, are we talking about just Alien-specific games, or are we talking about the AVP crossover? Because, I mean, the first two AVP games, plus the one on the Jaguar, plus the one in the arcade, plus arguably to some degree I mean, I didn't hate AVP 3. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't hate it. It wasn't as cool as the first two games, but it was definitely a passable shooter. And I'm trying to think of good Aliens games. Alien Trilogy for the time was okay. But it was,
I feel like, couldn't they have taken, and it's definitely too late now, but couldn't they have taken the Alien premise, that storyline, and just Dead Spaced it? Because the first Dead Space,
totally.
you remove those monsters and replace them with aliens, and it's an Alien game.
Well, like every Alien game up to this point has made one pretty critical mistake, right? And that critical mistake is to be like Aliens and not like Alien.
That's exactly right. Where Aliens is, for those who don't know, I don't know why you wouldn't, Alien, the first movie, was
six guys on a ship with one xenomorph.
That's what I was going to bring up earlier. How are they going to keep making games where you're fighting tons and tons of aliens when one could totally destroy their whole posse?
And that's the thing, is the first movie was this one, and the second movie was, let's just get a bunch of Marines and a bunch of aliens and just shoot the shit up. And that's what every game's been, and that's what it shouldn't be. It would be way better if you were fighting one xenomorph that kicked your ass every time, and the whole point of the game was just to live. Take that. People love that aspect of Slender and Amnesia and stuff like that.
Oh, I mean, survival games are really becoming a thing. I mean, there's just solid popularity across the board for any survival-based game. Yeah, someone just suggested turn it into a roguelike. So, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. But, yeah, I definitely think that Dan's not wrong when he says there hasn't really been a truly good Aliens game, like, on its own, not the AVP series, just Alien. I think again, Alien Trilogy is probably the closest you've ever gotten. Maybe some of like the SNES side scrollers, but even then, it's like, do you really count that? I mean, hell, this just seems like a mess. It seems like there's just been a release of an Aliens mod for Killing Floor that would actually be a better game, and I'm looking forward to playing that.
Well, I just read on Reddit earlier. It says Cliffy B says horror doesn't fly in full-priced retail market.
Yeah, I read that article.
That's not true.
What do you reckon to his opinion there, Dan?
I think he's probably right. So I don't really have a lot of experience with horror games, but I have a lot of experience playing lots of shooters. And so my friends, or even just general acquaintances I know in person, aren't big gamers, but the games they play are Call of Duty. So there's a large market to sell games to the people who aren't technically gamers, if you will. So if you make a game that's going to sell to those people, it's gonna sell a lot better. And to some people, I mean, that's all that matters is the profit. So who cares if we keep pumping out Call of Duty type games, or do we cater to the people who are going to buy a cool horror game? That's all I got.
But it has the Aliens franchise behind it, and that alone doesn't make it just a horror game. It gives it some gravitas that it would not normally have. And I think if you need to have a game where you have an alien, like a xenomorph in it, but you still want to have like, oh, I want to shoot shit, why not make half the game or part of the game where you're fighting humans of some sort, right? And so,
can I just?
And the xenomorph is running around just killing people.
I was going to say, one of the biggest problems is that with Aliens Colonial Marines is that about half the game is fighting humans, not aliens.
Oh, really?
All right, then.
Yeah, which sounds like
that could be done right, though.
Yeah, but it's done completely wrong. Apparently, it sounds like you're right. It could be done right. I mean, the way that... I mean, first I'll just like kind of address what Cliffy B said. The kind of biggest justification he made for this, which is really hard to argue with actually, is that horror games are the ultimate rental games. As in, because once you go through a horror game once, you've pretty much seen all the scares, and horror games fail to dynamically adapt to that. You play the game through once, you beat it. They generally never have multiplayer because it's really hard to do horror in multiplayer, and then you just trade the game back in. Which is why a lot of companies have stopped making full-priced horror games, and it's also why Dead Space 3 has co-op, and it also has a lot more modes to play through, because Dead Space had the same problem. It was a game that was heavily either rented or traded back in, because once you've beaten Dead Space once, that was pretty much it for a lot of people. So, I mean, that certainly has something to do with it. In terms of the whole kind of best way to make an Aliens game, a lot of what you're kind of describing here, the whole one alien versus unprepared, scared, shitless guys and stuff like that, was actually done in the original Alien vs. Predator. That's AVP that came out in 2000. Yeah, it was, wow, 13 years ago? Holy shit. Yeah, it came out then, and that was a scary game. Like, playing as the Marine was terrifying. They always sort of fucked with you and saying, oh, you're going to get friends now, you're about to link it. No, you're not. No, you're not. They're already dead. And you'd also get to play the alien, and you were just one alien. And you were stalking through tunnels and vents and picking people off strategically. And they were trying to set up defenses with turrets. You had to figure out a way around them. It was pretty special.
Here's an idea that someone wrote. Espen writes, give us an alien game where it grants an aspect of Dungeon Keeper style to the person controlling the alien, and then you fight 2 to 6 people who are trying to fight off the alien or live through.
That's called natural selection. that game
right,
already
but
exists.
in this case, it's one. So it's similar to like you're the guy controlling the entire level, and they have to get through it. It's interesting. I don't know if that would sell as a game, but
you could totally
maybe on the Wii U with the controller and the the alien gets his little.
Idea. Yeah, that's so cool.
Oh.
Like, being able to sort of just like have a strategic map and bring the aliens in. Basically, they're almost describing Space Hulk there, which is that Games Workshop game, which is actually getting a new version out for iPhone and PC and things like that, but it's probably going to be terrible because the company making it have a fairly dreadful reputation. But yeah, there's all sorts of possibilities here, and it just looks like Aliens Colonial Marines has just flat out failed to meet any of them, which is kind of depressing. But
although, again, were the expectations, I guess they were kind of high because of the demo, but I don't know. A lot of people still even had that meh attitude when it came to it.
I don't know. I mean, lest we forget, this is still a licensed game. I think we seem to have forgotten just because it happens to be Aliens that, oh, wait a minute, this is still a game based on a movie. It's like, it's a very old movie, but it's still based on a movie. It's still a licensed game. It's still exploiting and capitalizing on its brand rather than the strength of its gameplay. And as a direct result, this game might suck. And as it turns out, it is yet another in the long line of licensed games that have not been very good.
I didn't consider that at all.
Yeah, it completely slipped my mind too. And then I just kind of remembered recently, I was like, oh yeah, it's a licensed game. Fuck. I guess it can suck.
Yeah.
Like all the rest.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's sad because I feel like everybody that got an advanced copy of it was like, yes, I'm excited to play this game because the demo was good.
Yeah, and then they embargoed the reviews until release day, so you couldn't say that.
Yeah, it was just like,
Yeah, that was just... Be very wary of games that have release day embargoes. Generally speaking, if the game is good, the PR company and the publisher will not impose that on you.
Yeah, because they want you to be able to create hype.
Yeah, totally.
About the game.
You remember like some of the good games came out last year, like the Square Enix stuff, like Sleeping Dogs, you know?
Yeah.
And even like to some degree Hitman. I mean, don't get me wrong, I thought Hitman was kind of heavily flawed, but it definitely wasn't a bad game. And then other stuff like Far Cry 3. These are games that did really, really well because they were good games, and the publishers are like, we really want you to tell people about that. So we're going to let you review it, and we're confident enough in our product that we don't think you're going to slam it because we think it's good. And
that's how it should be.
Yeah, and usually they're right, you know, and that's the healthy relationship where it lets the press have that freedom and it lets us inform the consumers, and then consumers can make an informed decision on whether or not they want to drop $60 on this game. Also, stop pre-ordering video games. Not going to go into this again, but I'm just going to remind you, just in case you forgot since yesterday, stop pre-ordering video games. All right.
Yep.
Well, so I played a bit of that, and I think what we've all been playing, aside from Dan, Welcome back to the Game Station podcast after our impromptu break. Yeah, so OBS being an alpha program, turns out that's not very reliable. So I'm just going to hopefully not have it break in. I had to reset up everything. I'm having a terrible day. I have a bottle of pills here, and I'm very tempted to eat all of them, but then I realize they're allergy meds, and they won't help.
I was going to say, it's just Beano. You just, like, hate yourself.
Got some gas.
It's just like a jar of Tums.
Why did I do this?
It's
My day
like,
is worse now.
These are so chalky. Oh, God. It's like, well, there's definitely no risk of heartburn for the next 3 weeks, but now my stomach has crystallized. But, oh, Jesus. This has been a terrible day so far.
I'm glad we got to take a break because
Why did you do that?
Before we started today, Dodger and I were goofing around on Kickstarter trying to find like Kickstarters to fulfill our pie of Kickstarter goodness.
Yes,
Okay.
my pie
And
is,
so-
I think, a lot smaller than your pie.
I do love donating to.
I was going to say, I'm going to require some explanation on this, but...
Well, on Kickstarter, there's like a think of it like a Trivial Pursuit,
Is there?
right?
Where?
Yeah, and so it tells you it's
You go
under
to
like
my
your
profile?
name.
Oh, I have never clicked on my profile ever. So.
Yeah, it
And
shows
so it
like all the
shows you-
different categories,
Huh.
and it fills
Yeah.
in the pie as you support different categories.
Let me check. I want to check mine out now because I have a
And
feeling it's
so-
going to be very one-sided.
Mine is really sad.
Well, I've been trying to go around and sort of fill it in, and so I was looking at different things during our break there, and I found something that I want so badly, and I want this to be a thing. It's a computer desk that the entire top of the desk is a giant mouse pad. So it's a
What?
desk, and then it's all USB 3.0 connectors, or 2.0, depending on which model you get, that are on the top of it. So you just hook your computer to the desk, and then your desk does everything. I was like... It's called, hold on. If you want to see this thing, it's called Gamer's Paradise Gaming Desk. And I guess they have a video, and it's got 15 days to go. It's about 1/3 the way done, pledged. But like the damn thing is a legit computer desk that the top of it is the mouse pad.
That seems
That
alright.
that was
My desk sucks about to the point where it's even sunk in the middle because there's too much weight on it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I need a new desk, and this is...
How much is the desk?
I don't know. I know that limited edition early price is $3.99. If you want 3.0, you have to do like a special pledge of $1,000.
That's all right for a good desk, though.
I was gonna say for that
people don't
kind
seem to
of
understand
desk,
how
I need
much
that.
like a good desk actually costs. Like a really good desk is more like 20-30K of really nice wood that you
But
because
that's
Pretty slick.
but
Looks
you
like
keep that for the
graphite.
rest of your life. You know,
Yeah, so
a
this
good
is like,
desk
this is
something
like
that.
graphite. So it's like
Yeah.
metal, and the top is a is actual
Can
like
you
the legit.
link us? I can't find it.
Yeah, I will
Yeah,
do that
because
right
I
now.
actually could do with another desk. I'm looking at my Kickstarter pie right now. It's a bit sad. It's 11 games, 1 film, and 1 design, which was the Smarter Stand clips for the iPad, which is what I have received that, by the way. That is the only Kickstarter that I've received so far, the Smarter Stand. I backed Star Trek Renegades because I'm obsessed, and then 11 games, which were Double Fine Adventure, Banner Saga, Shadowrun, and a bunch of other stuff, which I can't be asked to list off, but yeah.
Oh
So it's if you type in Gamer's Paradise Gaming Desk under search, it's there.
Gamers
And
Paradise Gaming.
Gamer's Paradise, just type that in. I linked it as well if you want to click
it's
that
It's
link.
alright. I mean,
But
it's not a particularly attractive desk.
Yeah.
right, and so but the thing I love is that if you go down to the dimensions and you look at it, if you get the USB 3.0 thing, it's literally the entire like top of it is just like
Ports.
all these 3.0 ports. I'm like, God, that is
That's
right up my
pretty
alley. Right?
Oh, so many ports.
know,
Oh, it's so
I know,
pretty.
I know. Plus, you can get it in different colors, like red, white, or blue, plus black. I guess like the 3.0 one's like this white one, or I don't even know. I don't even know.
I like the look
I
of the
need to explore
surface. I already use a Razer Goliathus Extended, which is a mouse pad that takes up the entire desk. It's,
Oh, that sounds like what I have.
yeah, it's gigantic.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Yeah.
Like this is my mouse pad, this giant thing.
I have a piece of shit old Dell from back
So
when I
you
used to
have
buy
to
Dell.
imagine that a giant, like the entire surface of your desk is a mouse pad is a terrific idea. How is that not a thing already? That is awesome to me.
You can get this desk. There's 31 of these limited early birds left. You can get the desk for $449 plus shipping.
With USB 2.0.
Yeah,
it,
the
still,
limited edition one is
bad.
the one with the upgrade to 3s, custom white carbon finish, custom color LEDs, and the ability to add additional ports throughout the desk to accommodate your custom computer setup. And they were built and shipped first.
I may be getting that. I'm not even going to lie with you right now. I may be getting that.
It's pretty good. Yes, Dodger.
What is the difference between USB 2.0 and USB 3.0?
3's faster.
Much faster.
That's it.
It's a lot faster, but only certain devices actually can take advantage of that speed. So
Okay.
If you have if something says it's USB 3.0 compatible, you're good. If you stick a USB 2.0 and a 3.0, it really doesn't matter. It's backwards compatible,
it works,
but it doesn't
help
matter.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
But
it's
3.0
good for
is
portable hard drives.
I know.
And a couple
Video
of
capture devices.
Yes, definitely. Yep. There are certain USB 3 capture devices that work pretty well because it's fast enough to keep up with it. Anyway, should we get back? Let's get back to video games. So we were playing. Yes, I'm just hoping OBS doesn't break again. So we were doing a lot of Blood Bowl this week. As you're probably well aware, the TGS Blood Bowl League began. 3 of the 4 people here actually did play Blood Bowl.
Can we talk about spoilers, or should we not?
We can talk about spoilers now, I think, because the stuff's been up. So those of you who don't want to hear Blood Bowl spoilers, who still haven't watched the matches yet, because I believe I should hopefully have my roundup video up by Thursday. But the matches have been out for several days now. If you haven't watched the matches yet and you don't know what the results are, then do please tune out for the next, let's say, 15 minutes, because that's probably how long this is going to go on for. Maybe even longer than that. So, all right, but yeah, Blood Bowl. So Jesse ended up playing against Krendor, which was a bit of a rude awakening. How did that go for you, Jesse?
No, Jesse didn't play against Krendor.
Oh, no, I'm talking about my house. Sorry, he went against Side Strafe, yes. That was Beaverbox who went against Krendor. Beaverbox got utterly destroyed in a 4-0 result. Jesse went up against Side Strafe, and that didn't go well for you, did it?
No, it didn't go well for me.
Now you get to train and be the comeback kid like me.
I don't want to. Let me describe to you my training regimen the last couple days. I was talking with Dodger earlier about this. I have been I have 2 forms of training. I joined just a normal online league where I'm playing random people just to play. And then there are exhibition matches where I'm like, I will play just to play. And so I specifically play against certain teams. I'm not going to give it away, but it might be Amazons. So
I've been playing lots of exhibition matches against Wood Elves myself.
So I'm sitting here playing these games, and perfect example of why I have little patience for this game. 25-minute drive down the field. Perfect, meticulous planning. I am doing wonderful. I get within 2 squares of the end zone. I have a next turn. I'm completely surrounded in the back by Amazons, and my character's options are either I run to the end zone, in which case the entire way to the end zone are 2 red squares, and I'm very frightened about that. Or I throw the ball to a character with no interceptors anywhere. No one's going to intercept the ball. I throw the ball. Well, I'm like, obviously I'm going to throw it. I stand a better chance. I throw the ball and it just drops out of her hand. I'm like, fuck it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done. And I just walk away. I'm like, I close out and I just walk away for the day. And I'm like, I'm done. I can't tolerate this game anymore.
That was about the first 20 hours of Blood Bowl Legendary for me when I first started playing it. And then I suddenly sort of realized over the course of time that really is way less random than it first appears. And you can really fuck yourself over by doing completely the wrong things. And also wasting rerolls, right? Because, I mean, what you just did there was only a 1 in 6 chance of it happening. If you'd saved a reroll for that, you could have rerolled that result and you could have got it all sorted.
Well, I mean, and it hit me. I was like, you know what? I probably could have run that and got in, because I had the character I had, the War Dancers, they're really agile.
You realize you could have just used Leap. To just leap out of... You've got an ability called Leap, right? You can just use Leap to leap completely out of the scrum directly to the end zone. You're only 2 squares away, right? Leap is 2 squares. You could have just jumped over their head, quite literally, and won that way. And, I mean, you know, there's, again, another result. The problem with Cyanide Blood Bowl, right, is it does a terrible job at explaining the game. So new players get super frustrated by situations that they think are bullshit randomness, where in reality, they actually had a bunch of options that they didn't understand. So, you know, that would, in that situation, you could have just done a leap. Or, you know, the running wouldn't have been a terrible idea either. War Dancers have dodge, and War Dancers also have agility 4, which makes them really, really hard to pin down. So, yeah, you could have done that.
So, yeah, I don't know. I guess I just... lack.
Just gotta practice more. I'm just gonna practice more. Practice against
Jesse and I-
Crendor. Practice
Are
against.
against
That's
each
the
other this
that's the
week.
problem. Is
That
when
is
I
a
practice,
problem.
When I practice, I find myself hating it. Even I'm like, why?
Well,
So,
just bear in mind, you went into the first match with 1 hour's worth of practice, and then ZeitgeistReview had 20. So yeah, I mean, he kind of knew the game better than you did.
It's okay, Jesse. You'll pull through like a phoenix.
Or not.
Shut up.
Damn, Dan. Dan's
that
like,
might not
well, he
happen.
could fail. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, let's
it's
be logical here.
possibility.
it's totally on the cards, right?
I mean, let's be honest. In that first match, out of all of the first matches, I think that I got annihilated the worst. So,
And what people kind of said was also true as well. It's like it wasn't even your fault. It's just you had the misfortune of meeting the Chaos Dwarves.
yeah, you also got really good rerolls, but at the same time, it helped me realize holes in my defenses and things that I should be doing more consistently. So, it was good. It was very trial by fire.
And that's over now. You don't have to play me again unless you make it to the playoffs. And assuming that I make it to the playoffs, which I might not.
Now I just have to play against Wood Elves, and I get to experience what everybody else experiences, where I go,
bullshit.
why do they dodge everything?
Elf bullshit? Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But you do get to punch them. They're pretty good at being punched. Like, that's one of their best skills is being punched. So.
I'm going to take you out, Jesse.
We'll see.
You wouldn't be the first.
No, you'd be the second.
You'd be the second.
I'm terrified to play Crendor. I even
Krendel's
train with
nowhere
him.
near as scary as he claims he is. Like, he has literally made this a PR thing. Like,
Well, I've never beaten Crendor, and all of the times that we've trained, I've never been able to beat him.
I beat him 3-0 the other day.
Really?
But
Yeah,
but
elf
to be fair, he wasn't playing his characters. He was playing like he was like, look, I want to test to see if you really suck. Like, okay.
what was
So I don't think he was even trying.
What race did he play?
I think he was playing halflings, and I didn't
What?
even like. I didn't even try. I just
This idea.
ran around them, and it was like, boop,
Yeah.
score.
Well, I mean,
And
that's
he's
all
like,
you actually
well, you
have
seem
to
be
do.
doing fine. I was like, because you picked fucking halflings.
Halflings. Elves, elf bullshit with your entire team has agility 4, right? That means they can pull stupid shit that no other team really can reliably.
Doing like backflips over my kicks and shit. That pisses me off so much. I'm like,
Yeah.
just go down. I hate you. Dan, you should play this game. It's really fun.
Yeah,
No.
I'm looking at the website right
Look,
now. I really
Look,
want
just
to.
run. Just run.
It is a highly strategic game.
Jesus Christ. Stop it. There's about
No, it really
Alright.
is. Like
Okay.
it's all about risk management, and if you take a bunch of stupid risks like charging into a cage of 5 humans, then you deserve to get your ass kicked.
the one thing that I've learned, and this is something that I will take to heart from now on, is you want to roll the dice as little as possible. That's the one thing I've taken out of
Absolutely.
all of this.
And make sure
Is-
every roll you ever take is one that's always going to be in your favor. Like 2 dice blocks when you have skills like dodge and block. Don't roll against people that have dodge and block when you don't. Don't ever roll double reds ever under any circumstances, and so on and so forth.
That's what I've learned. I've learned just not to roll. I
Uh-huh.
just don't.
Yeah.
Rolling, I don't do anymore because every time I roll, actually, I prefer it if I just didn't even touch the ball the entire time.
Well,
Because
the thing is,
every
you're
time I touch the ball,
really
it's like-
good at the whole touching the ball thing, so you probably should do more of that, but... You know.
You can't use the joke I used on Side Strafe on me.
Which is...
Touching balls. You can't use
Oh,
that
jokes.
joke on
really?
me.
Ball jokes.
Really.
Why can't you? Ball jokes are always funny and relevant.
That is true.
No.
In
No,
any
shut it.
scenario,
Shut it,
they are
green
relevant.
screen. You got nothing to say here.
What you don't know is that
Owned-
all the stuff in
owned.
his background is actually all green screened. Like,
It's all
everything.
green screen.
He actually just
Mocking
took
me right now.
your background and then
It made it better.
photoshopped
Made it
all of
so
that.
good.
I green screen in an office behind me.
He has no furniture in his house. It's all
Yeah.
green screened in the shot.
Oh shit.
I mean, Jesse,
Yep.
you could have gone worse. You could have done what the completionist did, which was roll a... I think, yeah, did he manage that? Yeah. Or it was either completion... No, it was Crendor. Crendor managed to roll a triple both down result, which is a 1 in 216 chance of happening. He was not happy about that, as it turns out.
One of the things I think I've learned is that there's a difference. You can tell who came into this thinking it was going to be something different than it actually was.
Okay.
In my mind, before people all week, trust me, all week, were giving me super shits, and they kept asking me like, why play it if you didn't know what you were getting into? Because in my mind, I thought it was Mutant League. Does anyone remember Mutant League?
Mutant League football? Yeah.
Yes,
No.
that's what I thought it was, and I was so excited.
Yeah. Mutant
And
League
then
was
I was
a
like,
total
this
rip-off
is
of
nothing
football.
like that at all. I was
No.
like,
No.
I'm screwed then. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. I can't go easy on Dodger at all. So
Well, that's okay, because you can't go hard on anyone with an elf team, so that's fine.
We're both
Really?
going to be just like going, oops, oopsies, oopsies. That's going to be the entire game.
Well, it's just like it's a team with agility 4 versus a team with all dodge. It's going to be the stupidest game ever.
earlier I was playing just an exhibition, and they had the cheerleaders of the two teams, and I was like, these teams are ridiculous.
Both of our cheerleaders look so dumb.
Well, have you seen the halfling cheerleaders? They're basically female halflings with giant pots of soup. They're just stirring the soup the entire time.
Stir in the soup.
I feel like that would be better.
My cheerleaders are male because apparently there's no female hobgoblins, so they just dressed male hobgoblins up as females, put them on wolves, and had the wave sticks around.
Yep, that's hot too.
Oh man, it's pretty ridiculous.
For you.
Definitely. Yep, so my roundup video will be hopefully up on Thursday, assuming no other problems, and week 2 Blood Bowl matches will be up then, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I had a good start, so I can't really complain, and now I get to fight the Norse, which could go really well or really badly. We'll
Who are
see.
you playing against?
Completionist. So his Norse team actually...
The Beards. Team Beardman.
Team Beardman. Yeah, of the 4 players that lost in week 1, he was the one that probably lost the least terribly because he didn't really take any injuries. Oh, no, one of his players is out for the next game. That's Proton John SA. He's out. But he's still got 11 players, so it should be all right. See how that goes for him. And yeah, Blood Bowl. Fun. I love it.
Blurb.
Great game. It's when you learn the game, you love the game. When you don't learn the game, you absolutely hate it more than any other game in the world. That's just the way of it. All right,
Yeah.
well, what else have you guys been playing this week? Anything interesting? What's been going
I think we
on?
should ask Dan because he
should.
hasn't been able to talk for a
For
while.
the whole Blood Bowl thing,
that
yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, I played Dead Space 3 all of last week, and I thought it was really fun. But primarily, I play League of Legends, and I'm fucking terrible.
In
that
my
what
experience,
you're-
pretty much most people are terrible at League, so that's not really a big deal.
Yeah, it's
Are you
still fun though.
streaming that mostly?
Yeah, Monday through Thursday I stream it. If you want to watch some of the worst people of all LoL history, then yeah, check out our stream. I think we're mildly entertaining, but you're not going to learn anything from us for fucking sure.
That's
Sorry,
I
a
swear,
brilliant
I was
advertisement. Zeitgeist
won't learn
League of
anything.
Legends. We're fucking terrible.
We're
You're probably not
so
going to learn
fucking
anything.
funny.
Do you like beer? Come watch us. We drink a lot of beer.
Man's
Who's your-
honest.
Who's your favorite champion?
That's a tough question. Rammus lately, because you can't fuck with Rammus.
You cannot fuck with Rammus. That is very, very true. Rammus is the man. He says nothing. He is a tough but silent, gruff thing.
See, lots of people don't like Rammus, but you get a
Fucking
good
love
Rammus,
Rammus.
he's gonna own you.
Oh yeah, he can go anywhere on the map. He rolls around like a boss. He
Yep.
takes punches and he doesn't care. You know.
Oh,
He
yeah.
just dishes it all back out again.
Moby boots and Ghost plus Home Guard, and he's anywhere on the map at any time.
What the balls is a home guard? Bear in mind I haven't played since season 3, so I have no idea what's going on with these new items and shit.
What season are they
Ah.
on now?
Season 3.
3. Mm-hmm.
So I only played the season 2.
I haven't played since yesterday, but
I don't know everything.
I don't know what's
I haven't
going
played
on.
the game for about 6 or 7 months. I play Dota
Okay.
now, but what is home guard? I don't understand that.
You upgrade your tier 2 boots into a tier 3 now, and there's
Oh,
one
there's
of
new
like
boots?
4,
Oh, okay.
5, or 6 enchants that you get on them basically. And the Home Guard basically gives you I don't know 200% movement speed, something like that, while you're inside your base for a few seconds. so it lets you leave your nexus really quickly.
Oh yeah, that's pretty sick. So you can just get right back out there to defend. Especially combined with the Rammus spin, that would actually be ridiculous, I imagine.
With Moby Boots and Ghost, and he's out of there.
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
Yep.
Word.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't play LOL, then you have no idea.
Well, Jesse just doesn't play Dota-style games at all, so...
That's because I'm very good at them. I'll have you know, after the first time playing League of Legends, it took me 4 times in order to win a game, and at that point, you know that it's just, you would make everyone else look bad. So I quit while I was ahead, and I let
For the
League
good
of Legends
of
continue
morale,
on.
right?
For the good of the community.
Yeah.
For the good of the land.
Yeah.
Naturally.
I had to walk away.
That was why. That's the explanation.
Yep.
That's the official line, and we're sticking to it. Like Jesse,
I mean, it's believable to me.
Jesse, I hear they've got some PR openings over in North Korea.
You know what? Our Lord and Savior, Kim Jong-un, has launched many missiles to the infidels America and destroyed their big cities of New York and Chicago. Soon, the rest will follow. All hail the glorious... Are they an empire? Whatever they are! People's Republic!
Well
Call
done.
me Kim Jong-un!
He would, but they don't have phones over there.
That's true.
Oh, man. Yep.
It's
Where do we
not
go
racist if
now?
it's
Where do
North
we go
Korea.
from here?
Has anyone played anything else this week? Anything?
I'm trying to look at my
Nothing else,
desktop to see what
nothing
I
new.
played. Still
played Nino
OGing
Kuni.
on Sins of the Solar Empire. That is a game that I can't stop playing. I
We
can't
should play
explain-
sometime. Like, just set aside a day because that's how fucking long it takes to play, and then just play a multiplayer game. Because
It's
really good.
fun. Although I've been progressively moving up difficulty and map size. So I started at 1v1 and 2 and then small, and now I'm at multi-galaxy, multi-enemy hard. They are ruthless sons of bitches. I'm like, I got this. This will be easy. All of them attack me. I'm like, well, I'm dead. This is a giant waste of an hour. Great. Yeah. So it's fun. I am having flashbacks of old school times when I used to play games exactly like this many, many years ago. So.
Word.
Yeah,
Keep it-
I should play some more Sins. I haven't played Sins in a while. It's got its problems. It's a lot of nothing going on the first couple of hours. But that's also kind of nice. It's like, oh, I just get to build up my little empire because I know everyone else is doing it, and we have like 3 or 4 hours of just that, and then someone has a fleet far larger and just runs into you and destroys everything. You're like, well, that was a game. But
We did it.
yeah. It's like the ultimate
played-
turtling RTS. 4 hours of building shit and then 3 minutes of losing it all.
Oh, that's
That
all I
sounds
do
about right.
now. My entire every time I get a planet, the first thing I do is just make that thing super defensible. I'm like 80,000 turrets. Give me like several.
Oh, are you playing the faction which allows you to go twin star bases? Because Jesus.
If I'm on a border with another race, I starbase the shit out of that border. I'm like, bring it, bros.
Dual star
Bring it.
bases are that's just grim. It's just like, you can't do that. It's like, oh, he's got double star bases? Right, I'm just going to not engage you. I'm going to find another way around.
And one of them is like my hub and has ports and stuff, and the other one I'm just like, all the defenses, all the starships. I'm like, bring it, bitches. And then of course they do. They bring it and dismantle that
rotten.
shit. Yeah. The worst though is the pirates in that game. The game is officially a dick. It's like eBay.
Oh, yeah.
The way the game works is the AI pulls an eBay on you, which, on eBay, if you're trying to buy something, there's always that guy who at the last 30
Second,
milliseconds, it's like, boop, boop. Same thing with this. You have to outbid each other for the pirates to attack the other faction, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
in this game, the bar's like, pirate attack imminent. And right before they attack, someone always goes, bloop, bloop. Like, what? So every time it's about to happen, I stare at that screen. I'm waiting for them to do it now.
Yeah.
I'm not even playing the game. I'm just watching this little tiny part of the game. I'm like, oh, I know you can do it, you son of a... And then it shows up, and then you click really quick, and then it's like, pirate attack happening. It's like, bitch, I hate this game. There's a
Well,
lot
the
in
cool
that-
thing about the pirate bounty system is that it isn't just for the pirates. The best thing you can then go and do is dick on the player that had the bounty put on them because you get a bunch of money for it. Definitely worth doing.
The problem I have, though, is sometimes pirates will attack a dude that I'm attacking, and they'll show up at the planet I'm at, and they just start attacking me. I'm like, what? Leave me alone. I just paid you to attack this other guy. Like, no. Whatever.
Can't trust pirates, man.
Freaking pirates.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what I played this week.
Yep. There is one other game I did play that I quite liked.
Oh wait, hold on, I did play a game. The Cat Lady. Okay. Have you seen that game?
No.
That game is bonkers.
Yeah, we talked about it last podcast.
It's definitely a few podcasts. It's definitely unrefined. Definitely unrefined.
Yeah.
It's you can't widescreen that thing. So it looks widescreen, but the best you're gonna get is like 480. But it's more ambiance, more story based, but it is point and click crazy, except you only use the keyboard. And so you have up, down, left, right, and that's it really. And enter. Those are the only buttons you use in the entire game. And you are this woman who is like at the beginning, she's like basically TB, where I took a whole bottle of pills and killed myself. It's true. And then she goes and you're like in the afterlife, but not. And it's violent and bloody and weirdly sexual and it's strange. But
do you like it?
I've kept playing it. I don't know if I like it though, because it's horrifying. Like it really is just it's disturbing. It's not. I can't say that it's like the first time I watched Event Horizon, that movie. I can't say whether I like that movie or not because it just is a disturbing movie.
I've never seen that movie.
I still visually remember the scene where they're watching on the monitors a dude like puking his entire body up his mouth. Like I can't get that out of my brain. That's what this game's like. I can't get it out of my brain. And so I keep going back to play it, and it's a thing. I don't know what. I mean, it's really good, really, really well written, but holy crap. I don't know if you can. It's like a creepier, nastier version of what's the one where you walked around the island that everyone hated?
Myst? Oh, never mind.
Myst.
Yes, absolutely, and I endorse that fucking sentiment. Fuck Myst and everything it stands for.
I love Myst.
But it's the one that recently came out.
Dead Island?
Is it Maya Zamata?
No, that's the one where something's chasing you. Dear Esther.
Oh, Dear Esther. Oh,
Dear
fuck
Esther.
that game.
So you control it with just like you're just moving through this world, and you can interact with stuff and move things, but it's puzzle. It's one step above that, where it takes the artsy idea of Dear Esther and then says we're actually gonna make a game out of it, but it's still very artsy. So I don't know how many people are gonna like it, but I'm still playing it because I'm like glued to it. It's visually like, what am I looking at? Yeah, it's a game that people. I can see the playthroughs of that game gets on Steam, but right now you can just I think you can just go download it at a bunch of different places. So
yeah, they have it on just like their website, I think. Kitty, you are all up in my grill right now.
If you want to be really disturbed, I highly recommend it. If you're looking for a good game that you want to be like, this is creepy as shit, I don't know what I'm looking at right now, it's a game I'd recommend. Turn off the lights, play it at night. I have never been so weirded out in my entire life.
Really? It's that intense?
Yeah, it's called the Cat Lady.
Cat Lady.
Cat Lady. It's
side scrolling, right?
Yeah. No, the entire game is
I have seen
side scrolling, and you interact with different things. Like the trailer, just watch the trailer. You're just like, okay.
Oh, stuff.
And each chapter, it gets weirder and weirder and weirder, and yeah. But you learn why
it was with Cinnamon Toast Ken was playing that game when he was on the podcast.
Ah,
yeah.
Yes.
It is a thing. So you should definitely check it out. I started playing it just to see what it was like. Whoo, boy. Yeah. Check
No,
that
I
out.
don't know if I want to play it. I was gonna try it. Now I'm like,
I think you should. I think you should try it.
I don't want to be all messed up.
Look, I need other people to suffer too. Because I need to share my pain. Share your pain with me, Dodger. I feel like I'm the bad guy in Star Trek V. Share your pain with me. Look that one up, kids.
Can we be in the one with the whales instead?
No, we're not
Star
going back
whales?
Nuclear vessels.
Vessels.
And of course, colourful metaphors. Let's not forget that. It took me years to figure out what that actually meant. I think I saw that film when I was, what, 7, 8 years old? And I just couldn't figure out, what is a colourful metaphor? It's like, I see.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's more like Star Trek V, where you kill God at the end.
Hello,
Oh, okay.
computer. I'm sorry. That movie was simultaneously dreadful and brilliant.
It was
It
on
is
the
the
other.
worst and best Star Trek movie.
William Shatner kills God might be the best tagline ever.
Oh,
That's what that movie is.
with a photon torpedo.
The photon torpedo.
Yeah.
Pretty terrific film.
Oh, Star Trek
Just
5
saying.
is... there is the truth, the universal truth, that only the even-numbered Star Treks are actually any good.
But it was on TV the other day, and I still watched it, and I was like, yep, here I am.
Do you guys know? Wait a minute. There are 52 Star Trek games that exist right now, and
There's
they're
no way.
like the new one is going to be
51
the
of them
53rd.
are horrible.
They're actually not. So do you have a list of them? Are they on
My brother-
Wikipedia?
my
by
brother
any chance?
No,
made one
I
of
was
them.
I was reading an article about the new Star Trek game that
The
they're
new
making
one
that's like
looks
between
cool.
the two
Yeah.
movies, and
That
I was like,
actually
oh,
looks
I'm really
awful,
excited
but
about
okay.
What?
No, it's fucking dreadful. Are you kidding me?
co-op.
They decided to. You know what would be a really good idea is to have a co-op third-person shooter is set in the Star Trek universe. The one thing that never happens in Star Trek,
Right.
that being a shitload of
Hold
ground combat,
This
is
is
going to be
J.J. Abrams Star Trek, sir.
fuck J.J. from Star Trek.
Gene
and that-
Roddenberry ain't got nothing to do here.
I'm sorry, but it's unbelievably stupid.
I hope it's fun. I hope
it'll
it's
be
fun.
great.
Well, I
You'll
hope
be,
it's
you'll
good,
be
but it
walking
looks
through,
awful. I'm just
and
saying.
you have to be really strategic because what if lens flares make it so that you can't see your enemy? There's so many levels to this game.
Hey, man.
A good
He
Star
put ca-
Trek
he
game
put
could be
cameras
made,
off the-
though.
There's plenty of good
Oh,
Star
yeah.
Trek games. Like they've already made loads of good Star Trek games. Do you need examples? I can give
the
examples.
only good ones, though, are the ones that are specifically just space-based. Where you have a ship.
Elite Force and Elite Force 2 were fucking brilliant. Really great
I've
games.
never even heard of those. That shows how good they were.
Elite Force is awesome because they do it in like Voyager. They basically make the game like a set of Voyager episodes, and they have like the screens.
Oh, so they
and
made it
everything come
off the one of the worst series.
Well, yeah,
What?
which means
No,
it can only go
Voyager
up from
was
there,
great.
right? It can only go up from there. But it's a first-person shooter with set in the Quake. It uses the Quake 3 engine, and it's
See,
brilliant.
I think to
really,
make a
really
good Star Trek game, it can't be a shooter. It needs to be. There can be shooting, but there can't be 100 enemies you got to kill. There might be one guy that you shoot, and of course it's going to be on stun. But that's going to be it because to
It's
me,
not about shooting
Star,
hundreds of people.
Star Trek is all about exploration, right?
And diplomacy and solving problems that don't, it's
Right.
What is it called? Phaser diplomacy, I think, is the term that they use for a lot of that.
What about the Star Trek rail shooter? The
Aggressive
Voyager one.
negotiations. Oh wait, that was
Sounds like one of my favorite Star Trek games.
Oh, wasn't that the Elite Force rail shooter that it was at the arcade, right?
Yeah, the arcade one that you like step into and you have your gun. Oh my god, I love that game. I've beaten it so many times.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm just looking at the list of Star Trek games here, and I'm seeing some good
You know
stuff.
what? Chat's right. We need a Star Trek game featuring Q. Because that
There
one that
already-
actor
Yes.
There's already
No, but
two
there should
Star
be
Trek
more.
games that feature Q.
There should be more.
What?
And
One
that
of which
actor-
was an
that actor
FMV
isn't doing
game.
anything.
No, you have got to go and watch on YouTube Star Trek. I believe it's Star Trek Borg. Yeah, Star
Yeah.
Trek Borg is an FMV game, and it was done in 1996, and
Oh,
it features
wow.
Q. And basically, the idea is that Q, because he's Q, decides to take you back in time to allow you to save your father who was going to die in Wolf 359. And you have to make a bunch of decisions. But basically, it's almost like a potluck game because most of the stuff you click kills you. And then Q laughs at you in a variety of different ways every fucking time. And
Holy
it's
shit.
basically about an hour
sounds
of you
amazing.
being mocked by Q and doing all sorts of stupid shit. It's hilarious.
That sounds great.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, if you haven't ever seen it and you weren't around for Star Trek: The Next The advertisement's playing now. It's for
we're back. Okay.
Tyson.
It was just a DC, and then the game, and then the thingy reconnected. Oh, it's all right. I thought it had crashed, but no, it's fine. It's okay.
I'm watching the Q Mariachi Band.
Okay. I'm all right with you doing that, by the way. There was another game. It was an online game. I think it used to be called Star Trek Conquest, and that is where you actually played Qs, and it was called like a collectible strategy game. But it literally lasted for about 2 months, so I can't remember the rest of it. But it seemed great at the time. There's some pretty good Star Trek games. The problem is, like, there's no real impetus for them to create classic Star Trek games anymore because they don't feel people will actually buy them. So, yeah, there you go.
That's because yeah, it has to be on the new franchise. Because unfortunately, like new Star Trek, which God help us, or Star Wars, which is awful, but that's what people know now, which is sad. So the modern audience is going to want to buy stuff featuring, the new Star Trek characters.
No, that is true.
Sorry,
They did make
Shatner.
that, didn't they? A new Star Trek game, or is it not out
No,
yet?
that's what we're talking
They're
about.
making it
that
right
Oh.
now.
hates. Yes.
Yeah, why can't... Okay. Is there a game where you play the Borg?
Couldn't you do that? in
Just
Star Trek
harkening,
Online?
just
Yeah, there's
harkening
two of them.
back.
There's two of them.
There are?
Star Trek
Okay.
Armada, Star Trek Armada 2 are real-time strategy games that are actually pretty good. I thought Armada was a better one than Armada 2, and you can play the Borg. The problem is that they've got to balance the game, right? So it's not invincible Borg the way that you usually see them, at least not in the first Armada. So Borg, and they're pretty tough, but you can beat them up with just regular ships, which is not so fun. And then, although you kind of, the cool thing is you can assimilate other people's ships, and they get like little green shit all over them. Then you can fly around a little assimilated Enterprise. It's pretty cool.
Well, like, I'm thinking about the conversation we had earlier about making an alien game. Like, if it was just one ship, and you were like the Borg Queen, and everybody was trying to like get all up in your shit, and you were like, nah, and you like.
You just
It would
really
be
like
great.
Star Trek First Contact, because by the way,
I want a
And
First
most of-
Contact game.
And most of Voyager, which had the Borg Queen in it in like, what, season 7?
Oh well,
I
all
think.
right.
There's mostly season 7 there.
They also had those really awful
Data,
CGI
questioning
aliens,
his
which
life. I want all
Oh,
of
Species
these.
A472? Yeah. I love
Horrible.
the idea of
Horrible.
A472. Like, the idea of them is great, but the way that they implemented them, probably not so much. The whole notion is, holy shit, how scary is this thing? Because, like, you can't communicate with it, it can kill the Borg, and it just wants to fucking wreck everything. Like, oh god. But, yeah, they didn't really do that all that well. But yeah, as I said, there've been good Star Trek games in the past. It's just, it doesn't seem to be any sign of there being another one anytime soon. The only current active one is because Star Trek Online, which is alright. I mean, it's not a bad game, but it's not the game a lot of people wanted.
What do you think of the ship design in Star Trek Online?
It's alright. I mean, some of it gets a little bit ridiculous. Like, some of it's like what I would have designed when I was about 9 years old if I had any 3D rendering talent. It's just like, we're just going to make it bigger, and it's going to have 6 nacelles, and it's going to have spikes here, and it's like, come on, guys.
Hey,
But
But I mean, you have to have a little bit of that
my
for a
brother was the ship
customizer to
designer
feel
of Star Trek Online.
fun.
well, he's silly in some cases.
You
a lot of it's
bastard.
good, though. I like the fact that they took a lot of the old classic ships and sort of refitted them because it kind of went with the lore. Like, oh, we're on a war footing, so we're just bringing everything out of mothballs and sticking new shit on it and seeing how it goes. Although some of the justifications for some of the stuff allowed in that game were ridiculous. It's like, why can everyone run around with different uniforms on? Oh, we felt that it enhanced tactical performance to allow people to wear personalized clothing. It's like, shut up. It's just don't even give excuses. It's an MMO. You wanted people to be able to get fucking clothes. I mean, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
yeah.
My character in STO was wearing the Wrath of Khan uniforms. You know, the red ones with the white trim? It's like
Yes.
the most boss uniform. He's an 8-foot-tall blue alien wearing the Wrath of Khan uniform, and he's amazing.
I want the dude who made QOP or the people who made Octodad, one of those, to make a Star Trek bad fighting simulator where it's just like you against big creatures,
Yes.
just like
And they-
trying
And they only play the
to kill them.
music. Brah, brah. They
Oh,
play that
God,
the entire
it'd be
time.
so
Remember
Whatever
that
music would it be?
double-fisted overhand punch, right?
That'd be the That's the only punch you can do. Your hands are constantly bound. Like,
Star Trek double-fisted punch battle. That would be. I would play the shit out of that game.
That would be the best game.
Worf as a main character. You know, have the Gorn from that original Star Trek episode. That's like just 3 characters: Kirk, Worf, and the Gorn, and that's
Make it with the mechanics of that QWER game.
Exactly, co-op. You know, make it co-op. Like that is tactical genius. You can make it Connect. Make it a Connect game.
What I'm imagining.
Yeah,
just like, come on, just come on, just do. And he's like,
the guy's just like.
Special unlockable moves include very slow neck chop as well as palm strike, which is like every Star Trek fist fight ever is like one of those 3 moves.
Also, you have to have the over the shoulder throw.
yes,
There's
throw.
always that like. Yes.
And
that might
most
be
of
the
the
first
time you
good
just
Connect game.
collapse under
It
the
would be the
other
first
person,
good
and you
Connect
have
game.
to like, oh god,
It's
I
wonderful.
want this game.
Perfect.
Done.
It's genius.
That's, yep.
It's bloody
Call
genius.
us.
Yeah. Feel free to make that.
I'll write the script to the game. Roar, and then 1 or 2 Kirk lines.
And then the music
I don't
made
wanna
with
fight
your
you.
mouth.
It's bullshit because someone's gonna make this to your specifications and make $1 million off of it.
You know what? I'll be real honest. If it happened, I'd be really okay with it because I would make a video and be like, "I knew this day would come." It would be the
Xbox
happiest
Live
thing.
indie games, man. That's the best time.
Kitty.
Look at all the people you're hurting, Kat. Look at all of them.
Cat cares not. What the fuck? I told you.
He was like, "Call me out, will you?"
I'm just gonna smash everything you own. I'm gonna start with whatever that was.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah. All right, let's. Actually, there's one more game I did play that I would like to just very briefly discuss.
Okay.
And that's Ghost Recon Online. So I decided to play Ghost Recon Online because people had reminded me that it existed. That happens every now and again. I forget that a game is out. I'm like, oh yeah, that thing. And then I decided to play it, and it turns out it's actually really, really good, which surprised me. It's third-person cover-based shooter. Pretty tactical. It's very reliant on teamwork. You've got some nice teamwork features. Like, everyone has a gadget that they can kind of charge up and use. I picked an Aegis shield. So what I can do is I can charge it up, and then it projects this bubble around me, and then people kind of advance under the bubble, and it deflects bullets and things like that. Although you could run inside the shield and just kill people that way, but it allows you to kind of move as a team. There's some other neat features, like if you're near another player, it will sort of draw a blue line to where your allies are on the screen. So it kind of gives you, you know what the position of your allies are without looking, which is really cool. And it's got really nice gunplay, and it seems like a fairly balanced game. So I'm having quite a lot of fun with Ghost Recon Online. I was pretty surprised by that because I expected it to suck, honestly. And apparently in beta it really did, but it looks like they've improved it a lot. So
what's the premise? Is it like 4v4 or something?
8 on 8, for the most part.
Is it free to play or
Yeah,
do you have to
totally free
purchase
to
it?
play. And as a result, it's pretty cool. And it's got microtransactions, as you might imagine, but you don't really need them, from what I can tell. There's all sorts of different ways to earn in-game currency. Like, it gives you like a daily quest to go and do, and it gives you. You also have clans and fire teams. So you set them up with your friends, and you all go do a fire team quest where you all go into the same game and you cooperate. It's got in-game VoIP, so you can communicate with your friends. It's got clan support, and you can every time you level up, you get like 500 RP. You get loot drops, which let you get boxes of grenades and stuff, and it's nice. That's
not bad. Yeah.
It's pretty good. It feels really good as well. I love the way the cover works. The animations are really, really good. You can even go into cover sort of standing up, crouching, or literally sitting down. Like, if you're going prone, you can sort of just sit with your back to the cover and fire that way. And it's like, I've never really seen a game do cover that well. I mean, I suppose the Ghost Recon games are pretty good at that, but even then, I was happy with it.
Podcasting.
Keep going.
Were you shouting at the cat again? Because I don't think she's gonna listen.
No, somebody knocked on my door.
Uh-huh.
Stop it, cat! I'm on the fucking stream.
Fucking
The cat's in the other room like, hey! I gotta take a shit! Let me in there!
Hey.
Oh, fuck.
I'm gonna do it out here!
Let's get a news. Let's do news.
That's my cat's voice.
We're gonna
Makes
do
sense.
news. Alright, so what do we got in news? We have a few things. Not the Gaming Paradise Gaming Desk. That is not news.
What?
What?
Hey, keep promoting that. I want that to be a thing. Kickstarter, get on it so I can get one. I'm gonna get, like, immediately after here, I'm putting money down. I
Alright,
want that so
I like
bad.
this article. Let's talk this because this gets into a nice little topic. So,
Okay.
this guy by the name of, I believe it's Rob Lloyd, because I discussed this on the show yesterday. I think it's Rob Lloyd. He's the CFO of GameStop, Chief Financial Officer. He was speaking at the... So the name of this conference sounds like the worst conference anyone could ever visit. It's the Goldman Sachs Technology and Internet Conference.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, goodness.
It's like, you will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. It's... Jesus. So... He made a statement on the subject of the rumors that next-gen consoles may not allow used games, right? And obviously, because GameStop pretty much runs on this, America runs on Duncan, GameStop runs on ripping you off with trade-ins, and you've got a situation where they really, really don't want the next-gen consoles to stop you playing used games. So, came up with a couple of stats, like he claimed that only 4% of their used game sales are games that were released in the past 60 days, which is really surprising.
They sell it for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I can't see how you say 96%. Is that what you said? I can't see how that's even possible.
It's kind of bizarre. The thing is, the number he gave was 4% of our used game sales. Now, does that mean just...
My dog is freaking out, apparently.
Hey,
Oh, no.
I gotta take a shit over here!
that out,
Oh, no, we better keep that shit.
You won't do it. That's too much work.
I'll get TGS to edit it out.
Must be the money! That's 2 now.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Anyway, yes. Yeah, it's a really weird number. Like, I have to wonder, is that boxed volume sales? Like, or are we talking about profit? Are we talking about overall gross revenue? He doesn't say, yeah? I can see maybe 4% of games that they sell being that. Because, like, often you go in, like, you buy, like, a stack of used shit, right? You buy, like, 10 $5 games. And they do all those, like, 5 for 4s and stuff like that. But I can't imagine the profit margins like that, because you're talking about trading in a new game for maybe 15, 20 bucks at most, and then they sell it on for 55. There's got to be a huge profit margin there coming from those new games. Stuff that's come out in the last couple of months, being able to sell it at that kind of margin versus every other margin. And think about it. It's hard to say, but it also gets into the subject of the fact that apparently consumers do not want consoles that don't allow you to play used games, claiming that their research indicates 60% of consumers would not buy a console that did not allow you to play used games.
Wasn't that the big hubbub this week when people thought that the next Xbox would not allow you to do that?
They still do. Like, there are still rumors that this might happen. According to his statement, the PS4... Sony's basically publicly said that they don't intend to block used games, although apparently I looked all over the internet for a source and I could only find one source, which wasn't really, like, unless I can find 2 sources for it, I don't believe it. So who knows?
We're not going to know we're not going to know anything till E3, but that
Exactly,
should be when we'll know. Yeah.
But it is very possible. There's been a lot of rumors coming out. And Dan just can't be fucked with it anymore. I don't blame him. There's a lot of rumors coming out that the new Microsoft console may restrict used games in some way. And the way they'd probably do that is with some kind of always-on system with code registration, I would think. I mean, that's
Probably.
So, and always on, you need to be connected to the internet always on, or always on?
yeah, I'd imagine so. Yeah.
So is the discussion, do we have a problem with it, or do 60% of gamers have a problem with it?
Well, I mean, we don't care about what 60% of gamers say, right? Because, I mean, these numbers could have been pulled from anywhere, but what do we think about it? What is the used game thing a real issue? And more to the point, if one console does come out with this kind of restriction, what kind of impact is it going to have on its sales?
I don't think that they'll see a reflection on sales immediately. Because anytime a new console comes out, everybody's buying the new games, right? It would be later.
Alpha software, man. How does it work? Apparently it doesn't, but yeah. Anyway, yes. Crash, sorry about that. Back into the discussion. So, Jesse, you were playing Devil's Advocate, so why don't you explain that?
Okay, so I was saying that me personally, I remember having like sold all my old consoles because I didn't really play them anymore, but none of the games work with the new ones, and I regret that decision. Like, I functionally regret giving up games that I'm like, man, I wish I could play that again. But Devil's Advocate, on the side of the actual companies, I'm almost positive their thought process on this is, will the consumer be willing to give up new, better, greater games for not having the ability to play old games? And I bet they're willing to bet that the answer is they don't. Eventually, they'll come over, no matter what. Okay. They'll want to play new games.
All right.
And I think that's what they're going for.
They're probably right.
I mean, that is true.
It could be. It's not like, I mean, PC's an example of that happening, right? Because we haven't been able to really play used games on a PC for a long time, yeah?
Yeah.
There are certain examples where you could actually pick up a used copy, but for the most part, you can't. But then you get into the situation where everyone's buying digitally, buying on Steam and things like that. They've got to buy new. But the reason I think the PC gamers are okay with it is because places like Steam and Gamersgate and Origin have these ridiculous frickin' sales whereby a game just gets knocked down to like... I mean, we're talking about games that get knocked down to 90 to 95% off what their original price was, right? I mean, that's an absurd amount. We were talking about being able to pick up... I think about Deus Ex was like, what, $50, $60 release, and you could pick it up for about $6 at one point. I mean, come on. It's insane. Yeah. I mean, that's a huge discount.
Well, and you're going to make even more money with that because everyone that doesn't have it yet is going to pick it up for the $5 or $6, and they're going to make a ton of money.
Yeah, the problem is, the reason we can do this on PC is because there's more than one store. Yeah, there's some competition going on. Like, Green Man Gaming has been kicking Steam's ass lately in terms of prices. GOG... on a lot of new indie games has been kicking Steam's ass. Gamersgate has had good sales when they've bothered to fulfill them. Even Origin's had some decent sales. So you've got a lot of competition
especially recently.
Yeah, you've got a lot of competition. Except you don't get that on a console, do you? Because the only way you can buy digitally on an Xbox or a PS3, and one assumes this isn't going to change anytime soon, is buy the store that they installed on the bloody thing.
It'll never change. Why would it? Why would Microsoft put competition on their own system? They wouldn't.
Well, I mean, they almost do in certain aspects, but not in games, right? The competition on, say, the PS3 exists on movies. Because the PlayStation... I watched Skyfall last night, which was fucking phenomenal, by the way. And I was really surprised that it actually got on rental so quickly. Apparently, they're accelerating that now. I saw it on the PlayStation Store. I'm like, holy shit, that's out right now? Maybe I should go check Amazon Instant Video and see if that's got it, because I much prefer Amazon because it's quicker and I've got all my shit set up on there. So I go to the Amazon Video app, which is on the PlayStation, and I find the same thing there that I found on the PS Store. So there is competition for movie rentals, but there's no competition for games. And they're probably not going to change that, are they? I mean, it seems very unlikely that they would.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's their prime market is games.
I mean, it's almost kind of odd that they even allow Amazon to do that, but I guess they figured the additional features, and, you know, it's the same with having Netflix on your system, right? If you don't have Netflix, you're going to be the console that isn't in the front room.
Exactly, yeah.
But even then, I'm almost willing to say that the consumer in general is, we're slowly being conditioned, as you mentioned with PC stuff, but even with consoles, we're slowly being conditioned not to get used games. Because all the places that used to sell used games, I know there was Second Time Around, and there were all these places when I was growing up that would sell used games and used CDs and used movies and all these things. A lot of them don't exist anymore. When your choice is between GameStop or nothing, I guess eBay.
Best Buy does used now. I know that. There's a couple of other places. In the UK as well, Asda started doing used. Asda's basically Walmart in the UK, so... You know, you could even do used at supermarkets. The used market in the UK is booming, man. Maybe in the US it's not, but in the UK, there's so many stores that do it.
There used to be a lot like mom and pop sort of stores, and I remember
especially
when it was,
for music. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember GameStop and EB Games were competing like hell. Like, give us your stuff. And EB and GameStop just merged when EB died, and now you got GameStop. That's it. I mean, there's a lot here that it used to be about used games, and that's where I got most of my games were used. And now I haven't bought a used game in forever.
So I haven't either, but there's got to be a place for used games still, because so I'm going to take a weird example. So for the Xbox, there's Star Ocean: The Last Hope. I guess it's on the PlayStation 2, and I don't know if I could go to like Best Buy right now and find a new copy of that, but it's a really great RPG. You know, and it's still this current generation. So are they just saying if you don't buy this game when it first comes out, you're never going to be able to play it again, because it's still a great game?
Well, what they'd do is they'd make everything digital, right? That seems like the only way of doing it. The PS Vita is one of the first consoles that's done this. Every game on the PS Vita is digital. Every one of them. You can also buy a hard copy of it, but everything is available in the store.
So I don't really have a problem with that, though. I like digital, everything. I would buy everything digital if I could.
Yeah. I'm totally fine with that, too. And I wasn't fine with it like 10 years ago when stuff
Me neither.
Right?
Yeah.
10, 20 years ago when it came in proper boxes and it had manuals. I still have my Alpha Centauri manual. Half of that is a novel, an actual legit novel that they wrote about the whole lore of it. It's fucking brilliant.
Is that the game that's or the book that's in a binder still?
Yeah. It's in a binder. It's in a motherfucking binder, and it's great.
Yes.
But yes, that doesn't happen anymore. So
that's
I don't actually want my boxes anymore, because it's a waste of my fucking time. It's a waste of my space.
You have no room for it. Yeah.
Open broadcast software. Yeah, that's fun. This podcast gets more difficult to do week by week, and I would have thought that would be because of Jesse Cox, but turns out no, as a new power has arisen.
I'm taking the place down from the inside.
Very, very slowly. Okay. All right, Jesse, you were making a point, I believe.
I think I was saying that gaming companies, I'm pretty sure, are counting on the fact that, like you guys had mentioned 10 years ago, no one was willing to just accept digital content, and they wanted to physically own it. And you know, I own this. And now, because of things like Steam and things like that, where just the ability to get it, in reality, you don't own jack. But you know what? A lot of people are like, I played it, I had fun with the game, and if I want to play it again, I can download it later. Just like Blizzard has their whole online thing, where you can just enter your code, and you can re-download it. I think they're willing to consider or hedge their bets that, you know what, in 10 years from now, having used copies of games will be a non-existent thing.
10 years from now, I might agree with that, but right today, to completely neglect that. So we were talking earlier about having a constant internet connection. Is that right?
Yep.
So I moved into a new house about a year ago, and I was here for 3 months without an internet connection. And I think I bought Mass Effect 3, and I couldn't play it because it required an internet connection. And so what do you do in that situation? It's total bullshit.
Well, plus, internet's unreliable, as we have discovered through many Game Station podcasts, right?
Again,
I think today you have to have a hybrid solution. I don't think that we can go full. You have to have internet connection yet, because we don't have internet everywhere. 100% reliability.
Just freaking discourage used game sales by pushing the digital angle. I mean,
I agree with that. Yep.
You don't need to block used game sales. Make a decent transition. And you might argue, oh, well, they're doing that already. They're really not. I mean, I think we need an entire before we even think about getting rid of used games entirely, we need an entire generation cycle whereby everything is available day one, or even, do it earlier. You want to discourage used games? Put it out 2 days fucking earlier on PSN and 360 Xbox Live.
That's a great idea.
Put it out. I imagine the reason they don't want to do that is because retailers would fucking throw a hissy fit.
Of course
yeah, totally.
But
it's the same as what's happening in the comic book industry right now.
So what is happening in the comic book industry? Because
well, I mean, they're starting to be more vigilant about putting comic books up in a digital form so that you can just download them and read them on your iPad or whatever.
Okay.
And lots of comic book retail stores, they were already closing. Like, less people are reading comic books, buying comic books from stores. They normally just buy them on Amazon now. And now with digital copies, they're just getting so
hammered.
Upset about it. And so what they've done is they've made it so that the digital versions are exactly the same price as the retail versions, so that people that look at the digital version are like, oh god, this is really expensive for just like one book. Why would I get this?
Yeah.
So,
but But at the same time, with the closing of stores, like even the one with the crazy guy that's near us, that just closed as well. So,
yeah, dude. Now it's a limo store.
I know, which is weird. Yeah, and so with them closing and the inability to find comic book shops, now your next option is, all right, well, I'm doing it online, even if it's full price. So they may be shooting themselves in the foot anyway.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, even if you don't do like a sort of pre-release thing, because again, stores would throw a hissy fit. Although I feel that if every console provider suddenly did it, it's not like stores could do shit about it anyway. But even then, it comes down to just do a full generation of encouraging people to use digital services. As in, do a lot of sales, a lot of discounts, do way more stuff like PlayStation Plus, which is amazing. We're talking, the most likely candidate for someone that's going to block used game sales currently is Microsoft. Microsoft has, by far, the worst, most fucking horrible anti-consumer system for their digital sales, right? They make you pay for the privilege of buying games. Like, you need to go on Xbox Live and get a subscription to play your games and do all this other shit. And for what? You subscribe to Xbox Live, what do you get? I subscribe to PlayStation Plus, which is cheaper, and I get free fucking games every month. What do you do when you get Xbox Live? You get ads. You pay for the privilege of receiving ads from Microsoft. What a wonderful system that is. And you have no choice in the matter. PlayStation Plus, nice optional system. Really great. Xbox Live Arcade, required cancer of the console. It's just, that has got to change. And it's unlikely that we'll see Microsoft go down any kind of reasonable route, because they've already demonstrated over the past 7 or 8 years that they have no interest in reasonable routes.
Why would they? Everyone's already paying, a hand and a foot to play, and they're still going to because they have to.
Like, you have no way around this. None. Zero. You can't do it. So I have a feeling, honestly, that, if anyone does it, it's going to be Microsoft. My hope is that there's a big backlash. I think already, because the console war has kind of ground to a halt, right? There's pretty much an equal number of 360s and PlayStation 3s on the market. I don't want to go to Chrome and check because it might crash OBS. So please just believe me for a second, right? There's about an equal number of three. Yeah, it's pretty close. So the console war kind of is at a stalemate, to the point where people are saying, oh, I wonder which has the best services. And you know what? PS3 wins every time on that one. That's just a fact. Xbox Live Arcade versus PlayStation Plus isn't even fucking close.
Mm-hmm. I think the only benefit, and you might be able to correct me if I'm wrong, that Xbox has is that you can form your party outside of a game and move them around. And I don't know if you can do that in PlayStation because I don't have a lot of experience with it.
I don't play enough online on PlayStation to really know that, honestly. I know they did do some serious revamps, so the PS Store got revamped like 2 months ago, and they have upgraded the system significantly, but I don't know if that's the case. And
I barely game online on the Xbox or the PlayStation these days, but in my experience, that was the benefit of the Xbox.
Okay.
But still, I mean, is that worth $60 a year?
No.
I don't know.
Not in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, conclusions on the whole used game thing. Let's go around the room. Dodger?
I forgot where we even started from. What was going on? Oh, right. Okay. Like I said before, I think that there would be a backlash toward any sort of a console that blocked used games, but it wouldn't be immediate. So at first they'd be like, see, this works. People are still buying our games because people always buy the new games right when a console comes out anyway.
Right?
Yeah. And so I don't think that it would be evident immediately, but I do think that it's something that would spur more and more people to go to PC.
Which is a good thing, but hey.
Yeah, yeah, it certainly is.
Jesse?
I don't know. I mean,
It's almost like you're not a paid industry analyst or something, Jesse. How is this happening?
I know, it's weird. I personally can see both sides, and I also can see... I am very cynical in the fact that I just think they're going to do whatever the hell they want to do, and tough tatas for us, so... It sucks, but whatever.
Very, very succinct. Thank you.
But do you want them to do it?
No one does. But they're gonna do what they want to do.
There's an opinion.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Sorry.
Nicely baited there, Dodger. Well done.
Thank you.
Dan.
So I don't think that right now we can solve this problem because we don't have the online infrastructure for it. I see the point of view from the companies in that they want to continue to support their profits, and they can absolutely do that through digital sales. I mean, Steam is an excellent example of people making tons and tons of money selling their games for super cheap because they're going to sell mass quantities of them as opposed to selling a used copy. The problem is, again, that we just don't have the online infrastructure for it. So, 10, 20 years from now, when everyone's potentially wired somehow, maybe that can happen, but I don't think it's today.
Yeah, I think that they need to have a transitionary period. I'm not really necessarily against the idea of locking out used games as long as there was always a way to get those games, yeah? The problem occurs is when you have to buy used, and in previous generations you've had to buy used because there's no other way of getting the game, right? Which was, I mean, that sucked, and it sucked for everybody. The problem that I've got is that even in this transitionary period, what you're essentially doing is you're moving towards phasing out retail stores entirely, which is good from certain perspectives, and it's terrible for other reasons, because unless console manufacturers open up their retail space on the console themselves, so allow competition in the digital space, then you're going to end up with a solid monopoly on all consoles, which is a terrible idea and will never work out well. There is a reason why Xbox and PlayStation don't have a huge amount of sales on their digital space, and none of them are anywhere near as good as something like Steam, right? Because there is active, healthy competition on PC. Even though Steam is a dominating force, they can still lose, yeah? And we saw in the recent sale was probably the worst one yet for Steam, and other guys came along and beat them frequently on a lot of different games. And that's good, that's really healthy for us. And you'll never get that in a console space unless they actively say, okay, fine, we're going to allow Amazon to sell digital copies. We're going to allow all of these other retailers to sell digital copies, which they're probably not going to do. So overall, it seems like this could lead into something really bad, potentially, even if I'm okay with sort of not having used game sales, I'm not okay with the potential consequences of what it could lead to. And that worries me a little bit. But it's okay, because I have a gaming PC, so why should I give a shit, right?
That's how I feel.
Pretty much. Alright, should we take a look at some more news? Maybe we'll do one topic and then we'll wrap it up. It's probably going to be a short show today because we've had so many crashes. It's obviously going to be really hard for the editors, and this is going to be a huge pain in the ass for everybody, so we may try and limit that. Let's have a look.
What other great news stories do we have?
There's not a huge amount, really. Not from the stuff that we listed. Is there anything that people have seen this week that they really want to talk about? Wow. Great.
No.
Big week.
It's not been an amazing week for news. I mean, news has been dominated by how shit Aliens is.
Kotaku did report on a dick controller. I feel like that's something that should be recognized.
Right.
The Japanese have created a controller that you place on your penis. So, enjoy, Internet.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. I don't think people would really have to stretch all that far to the whole, Oculus Rift is coming out and VR is going to become a thing again. Well, the first thing that's going to happen is someone's going to make porn of it. And the second thing is...
Yeah, that was... There's actually a company that is looking for people to help make their very first Oculus Rift porn game. So, it was only a matter of time.
That will probably be
I feel like that's why it was created.
Can we combine this with those new Japanese...
Dodger, you're muted, I think.
Sorry, my keyboard's so loud I've gotten used to muting myself if I'm typing something.
Oh, okay.
I was just saying that they started with like a boob simulator, right? That's like how they started their porno. And now they're moving up from boobs. I think that's how it went. Huh?
I like where this is going.
For the Oculus Rift thing.
Oh, I don't know anything about.
Well,
all I know is that there was a Reddit post.
Oculus Rift with a Kinect, which would probably work pretty well. And then the thing is, you've still got to have that tactile feel, right? So if you're going to do like a boob
That's
simulator,
why they have the dick controller. God bless you, Japanese.
It's getting there, man. It's getting there.
I can't believe that somewhere they designed a controller. Here's the best part: the controller has still forgive me for it has a controller at the top. It has a thumb at the tip. It has a thumb. It's amazing. How is this a thing? So basically, your dick and playing a game. God bless.
Oh, good.
That is the best thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Wasn't there... I don't remember if there was a law for this, but I'm pretty sure someone came up with a law that sort of indicated that every time any new technology is developed, one of the first things that will be done is to see whether or not you can get some sex-related stuff to work with it. It must be something like that, but I mean, it's pretty true. It's like, oh, new technology? I wonder how we can do porn on that.
Here's the link so you can see what the actual controller looks like.
How about we don't show people that? That might.
There's no porn or anything there. It's just,
okay.
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
It looks really.
I
like how at the bottom
right?
there are triggers. There are triggers on it. Golly, that is wonderful.
What the fuck is this?
Of course, it comes with a Mead game. Of course.
Well, naturally.
It's called Juicy Air. The Juicy Air Peripheral.
I'm sorry, what?
Yep.
I can't.
Oh my god, it is.
I can't do this industry anymore. I can't do it.
I quit. I'm out. This is enough.
I just pre-ordered it.
Yeah. You're like, oh,
PlayAsia.com and find it there.
$144. That's almost as good as that rocket bazooka thing from Super Nintendo. I'm just saying. If you got $144 to blow,
Uh-huh.
you'll spend it on the
Tell me more about your $144 to blow, Jesse.
Look, just don't make any videos and we'll be okay.
Jesse, all I can say is it's a pretty hard sell, right?
Maybe.
Come on, there's prime opportunity here. Like, I'm leaving. It's open season on dick puns for the next 3 minutes. Go.
3 minutes?
3 whole minutes.
I'm so bad at puns.
I'm muting myself.
Wait, why would you mute her? Wait, wouldn't you want to turn off your headphones?
No, I want to hear them. I don't want to contribute. I just want to be. I want to be involved.
Because someone will make a highlight reel and then
You
loop
just wanna
it for 10 hours.
Dick
Is that
jokes
why?
wash over you. Dick jokes.
Oh my god, dick jokes. Dick jokes.
They're
Just like that.
Dick jokes. What?
Well, that's it. That's the end of the podcast. Right? Jesus God.
Thank you so much for watching.
We're done now.
Welcome.
Forever.
Oh God! Once again, Jesse finishes early. Jing jing.
I guess the 3 minutes weren't up. To be fair,
they weren't. They definitely weren't.
Oh.
Are we done with this?
Now where do we go from here? This is
that means there's so many more that we could easily break out.
Oh my God. The
I'm
best part is there's an actual legit complaint circulating around the internet because there's women who want to play this game and they're mad that they can't play it.
What?
Wow.
This is amazing.
We can't use the juicy air. I'm totally signing it.
Just turn that thing around. You'll be fine.
Well, you'd be close, but how are you going to push the buttons?
Couldn't push any buttons. Then it's just a really uncomfortable condom, Jesse. There's no point.
Uncomfortable for whom?
I literally just had to stop myself from saying something really freaking nasty right there. We were about to cross a line. I was like, nope, we're not doing that today.
All right, 3 minutes are up. That's it. That was the amnesty. The amnesty has ended. It's enough.
Have fun editing this podcast, people.
There is no editing.
It's like I just very slowly try and push the boundaries on every show, and then I'm going to see where TGS draws the line.
Right. When they're like, we really can't host this show anymore. And
also, if they get free
copies, did it, guys.
The first review of that game.
I want that first review. I want that. I want that first review.
It has face cam and one other
for
cam.
science. It has what?
It has face cam and one other kind of cam.
Look, here's the problem. I can't imagine how you play a game. Like, I don't. I'm sorry.
Clearly, you need to order one and let us know.
For
Yeah,
science.
For
Jesse.
For science.
Come on.
Yes, because that's what I love doing is inviting people and be like, yeah, that's my dick controller. I leave it on the couch. Seriously. No adult is gonna go buy a dick controller and be like, "Hey, come on over. We'll play board. Like,
Yes,
we'll watch
they
TV
will.
or whatever."
It
Just
would
push
be
it
the
off the
most
couch.
successful Fan Friday yet. I'm just saying.
I
And
would
the
lose my
last
YouTube
Fan
account
Friday.
immediately.
Oh
No,
God,
thank you. I don't need to own that.
this is
And
dreadful.
you probably have to clean it. That's just
You would have to
electronics.
clean it. I mean, you wouldn't
Well,
have
it's
to.
fine. I mean, you could just
but-
get one of those sort of rubberized covers that you can get for Wiimotes, right? That would work.
Holy shit!
Yeah, but that would chafe.
We literally that
Are
line.
you
we've
speaking
just-
from experience here, Dan? No, what?
We're gonna need some lubrication.
Leftover.
Dan loves to bang his Wii remote cover.
Well, I mean,
Oh
it's
my
fine.
God.
All I can say is there are plenty of ancillary, sort of third-party aftermarket companies. Mad Catz Lube would be ideal for that.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it's a great reason to
Go
finally.
into so many new angles. All the companies.
I mean, you already have a company called Hori. It's not that hard. I mean,
Ah,
we could go with that.
Then browsers could get that much further into the gaming industry. It
damn.
would be good. Thanks for watching the Game Station, podcast.
This spun off in a wonderful direction.
It was doomed from the first crash, and with every crash, it
It's just got
worse.
progressively worse. Mad Catz is never going to sponsor my esports team now. You know that, man. Oh,
Aw.
geez.
Mad Cats,
Bullshit.
you can sponsor my e-penis team. You're the best.
Oh, Jesus, why?
Got in one last one. Yeah, boy.
It's the worst show we've ever done.
Uh,
I don't know
And
about
that takes a lot of effort. We have to delve pretty fucking deeply and greedily to get to that point.
I'm very
chat, I
honored.
will be checking Tumblr later.
We have essentially
Not
unleashed
disappoint
the
me.
Balrog of lack of taste. It's a demon of shadow and dick jokes.
Get to be Legolas.
I think that's fun.
It'll be Dan.
Yeah. It would be. Jesse's Gimli.
It's cool, guys. I'll be Aragorn. I get it.
Oh, God damn it. My mind has gone to weird places.
It's
I don't
just,
get it.
you know what?
It's just the phrase "nobody tosses a dwarf" just came into my head, and I'm like, I'm fucking done.
Maybe that's the sign, TV. It's the sign that we need to.
You want to wrap this up because we've
TV, what are you doing this week
had... Thank you.
on your channel?
Dodger. That's very much appreciated. Oh, God. Blood Bowl, mostly. I think the Blood Bowl Roundup show should hopefully be out by the time this VOD actually gets there. It's... Yeah, I've spent a lot of time on it so far. It's taking fucking forever. So I'll also be playing my game. I think I'm playing on Saturday against Completionist. So I'll be Chaos Dwarves versus Norse. That's going to be one of the bashiest games you've ever fucking seen. There's going to be a lot of punching going on. There's going to be a lot of casualties. It's exactly what you
headbutts.
want. Yeah. Bit of,
It's gonna be good.
a little bit of the old ultra violence. And I mean, there's not actually that many games out right now to do videos on. I still kind of have to play with my backlog of stuff. The Emerta City of Gangsters I still haven't done yet. Strike Suit Zero I still haven't done yet. And Assault Horizon. I'm pretty sure I said I'd do all of these videos last week, and I never got around to it. So I'm working on that. You'll probably get at least one of those this week. And content patch, as usual, a little bit more Dota here and there. That's about it, I think. It's just my regular stuff. Jesse,
Awesome.
what are you up to? What's going on?
Just doing the usual, trying to complete Dead Space 2 so we can do Dead Space 3. Trying to get that done quickly. That game is still amazing and wonderful. And just a lot of projects that I'm working on trying to get done so I can actually start announcing them. I mean, it's stuff's in the works. Also, yesterday they released a super secret image on Awesome Knots of some character. I don't know what
Oh
character it could
my.
be.
Yeah.
But I would say you should go check that out because that would be kind of nice.
Not releasing or revealing anything or anything, but there might be something else in Awesome Notes that may or may not be associated with me at some point in the not distant future. But there you go.
Ooh.
And also one other game, but I don't want to spoil that. So Dodger, what are you doing this week?
Me? All right, we got news Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Although this Monday I put up our Blood Bowl match because it took forever to render. And everybody's requested that I make a short video saying what I did with my winnings and talk about what my strategy is against Jesse this week. So I'm going to make that and put that up on Thursday. I think Jesse and I are playing on Friday. So that'll be a thing. Yeah. And on Dexterity Bonus, I do the daily vlogs. And last Sunday put up a Portal DIY. And this week we'll be putting up a Minecraft DIY on Sunday. So watch those. I have a lot of fun making those. So I appreciate all the support. Okay. And I think that's about it. Just lots of Blood Bowl happening right now.
much Blood Bowl. That's how it should be. Dan, what are you up to on Zeitgeist Review and your other channel, whose name escapes me?
ZeitgeistReview dead.
That's it.
So it seems like you guys are all doing hundreds of videos, and I'm doing a whole lot of not much. I was going to put out some aliens, and maybe I won't, because now this Blood Bowl talk kind of makes me want to play that. There will be League of Legends.
Welcome to losing your life. I mean, those games take an hour each.
I mean, I'm fine with that. There'll be some LoL. There'll be some StarCraft. Next week, I'm looking forward to either Metal Gear Rising or Crisis 3. It'll probably be Metal Gear.
I'm playing Metal Gear. I'm looking forward to that.
Just kind of shootered out, I think. I would rather play Metal Gear.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah. So that's what I got. Maybe Aliens review, maybe not. I don't know yet. It doesn't sound all that great.
You're a boss, Dan.
I like it. I think you're doing great. Great work.
Thank you.
That really wraps us up for this kind of mess of a podcast that we put out today, folks. So please do remember to check out youtube.com/thegamestation for all the content there. There's a new lore up over at youtube.com/.